Start, Mr. Introduction.
Oh fuck, man! I thought that was your job.
Without an introduction, you asked what the name of the podcast is.
Yeah.
What's the
Yes, the name of the podcast is Blowing Off Steam, which is a double entendre. You know.
I kind of get it. Like, he blows off steam, and also we blow off steam by talking.
Exactly.
Very
See?
smart.
See? It's
Very
smart.
man.
It's
Took
totally
me-
not already taken.
Oh yeah.
No. But hey. You know how you saw me come up with the name.
Oh, definitely. No, I didn't say that you. How
Yeah.
do you call it? That you stole it from
Okay.
other place. No, man. But like someone else already thought of it.
We
You know?
think
We
because
think. We're not sure.
There is a podcast.
no, we're not sure, because we were sitting, we were about to start doing it, and then Abed goes like, "Hey, by the way, let's check if it's already taken," and we checked.
So he's like, we checked and then we pressed X, so we don't remember if it's taken or not.
It is taken. Then probably.
I'm not sure. Well, who cares? If it is, it is. If it's not, I think it's very nice and it's already trademarked. We already trademarked it here in Russia.
Amazing.
Yeah, Omar is expecting the taxes to start.
Yeah.
Imagine if they were.
Who's gonna pay the taxes?
Imagine if
So
there were
we run
taxes.
away.
Yeah. Imagine if there were taxes on podcasts.
Are there not?
There's no taxes on podcasts.
Nobody would do it anymore.
Yeah.
So you just all the money you get from the podcast, you just keep it.
No, but it's as self-employed, right?
Okay.
Put yourself as self-employed.
Usually because the idea of a podcast comes to like low-life people who have nothing to do. So they're not the ones to be like, yeah, I want to pay tax.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and we're totally not that.
No,
Definitely,
no.
So funny.
Fortunately, no.
I'm working with. Wait, I know what. I'm not gonna ask about your age. I'm just like gonna ask about your experience. Please tell us about yourself. You're our guest. You are our guest. Tell us about yourself.
What? Hello? I don't know.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's a good start.
Listen. Here's the thing. Act like there's no camera.
Well, there is literally no camera, basically.
It's a phone, but yeah, man.
It's
It's a phone. It identifies as a
I
camera.
heard
man.
last time it didn't work as a camera that good.
Here's what happened.
No,
Omar came to me. He's like, "Listen, man, I want to record a podcast." I was like, "Sure."
Yeah.
And then we were like, "Okay, where?" And it just came up. Okay, let's do it at the shisha place. And this is all literally impromptu, you know.
Yeah, figure it out. You guys
So
are
we'll figure it out how it goes.
Yeah,
Anyways,
so yeah, I'm Omid. My name is Omid. I'm 24, kinda. I'm from Iran.
that's nice on your Tinder profile.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a student. I live here. Used to work, not anymore. Looking for one. Very fun.
What did you work as?
Oh, I used to be a bartender at a club or bar that was for foreigners, like expat bar.
With only two expats, me and you.
Yeah, we were together. I mean, we have a half expat.
Half
together.
expat, yeah.
Well, you're not an expat.
Why?
If you have Russian passport, it doesn't count as
But
expat.
that's one thing. The second thing is that an expat is, full foreigner come here to live here for.
You go through the full-on experience of being fucked, you know?
Okay.
Especially when sometimes you have no place to live.
Especially that.
Has that ever happened to you here?
Actually, I used to live at another place before where I live. I used to live at a place with my friends from Iran, my best friends from Iran, actually. And then over a girl, we went into a fight and they kicked me out of the home. So
That was in Russia or in?
yeah, it was in Russia. Yeah.
That was in Iran. His dad, bless his soul.
Me and my dad had a problem over a girl.
Exactly, the moment he was born, he's like, "You're not going to have. I want your mom full time."
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, there was a girl. It wasn't like I was trying to hit on the girl. No, it was just she was just a Middle Eastern bitch, you know.
Middle Eastern what?
Middle Eastern.
Swear jar.
Oh, where's your swear jar? Where's your swear jar, bro? Where's
It's,
your swear jar?
Well, what do you call the pink-haired?
Yeah, we call it. I've no fucking clue.
No, you had a name for him.
You can call him like.
No, he had a
Did
name.
I?
For him.
Really?
Yeah.
Can we put the name
What
of?
was it called? Not chimiak. The word chukabara, bakabara. What was it?
Macaca.
Macaca. Yeah, macaca.
Okay, yeah.
So macaca keeps count on the
Yeah,
swear words.
yeah.
Just really like put the money like off his thing.
No, you just
Here's-
rub his hair. and he's just gonna come
Here's the
on
thing.
your
Do you
face.
have any money to put it up his ass?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. You need to put it here.
I think I've
You need,
heard of
my man, it should be in the middle.
It should be in the middle.
Yeah?
Yeah, in the
sir.
middle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see that.
That's
So we had a problem. We had a kind of a fight going
Okay.
on, and they kicked me out of the home because there was 3 of them and 1 of me.
Ah,
Although I'm big, but not
But
that
like-
big.
so, but like, it wasn't their apartment, yeah.
The name, their name was on the rent because I came after them to
Ah.
Russia. So yeah.
before a question, hello, my man, our amazing shisha guy. What's in the kalyan? What's in this shisha?
Sour and ice.
Sour and ice. That's it.
Yeah.
Sour. All the taste of sour.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so sour and ice.
Sour and ice.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank
This
you.
episode is gonna be called Sour and Ice. by the
Sour
way.
and ice, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
So yeah, they kicked me out, and I thought I don't have a place to live. So I called one of my friends, and I told her about like, yeah, I'm fucked. This is what's going on, and she said, oh yeah, funny, like accident that we are leaving Russia, and we're looking for someone to like rent our place to.
Mm.
So yeah, I rented their place happily ever after. Yes.
And it came with a cat, if I'm not mistaken.
It did come with a cat. I'm not the only pussy who lives there.
Yeah.
But yeah, you go while I talk.
Okay.
So yeah.
Take the.
Take the thingy.
What do you call this in
This
in
thing,
Persian?
mouthpiece.
Mouthpiece in Persian.
No, in
Is it-
Persian it's the hani, which means mouthy.
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 What about in Egyptian?
We don't have that thing. No, why are you shocked? No, we don't.
It hasn't hit there yet.
No, really, man.
This is why herpes is
Yeah,
preserved.
exactly. So you all have
What do you mean herpes?
hepatitis there.
No.
They were one of the largest
Oh.
countries with hepatitis C.
Oh, you see.
This explains it.
Really? Oh.
You guys were, but
See?
now according to their statistics, which anybody.
Oh yeah, of course.
Versus, you know?
According to their statistics.
No?
Stop shitting
Yeah.
on words.
So yeah, what happened was basically like this friend of mine wanted to rent her place, and they had a cat and all of their stuff there. So they wanted to rent it for cheaper, but they were looking for a friend or a family to rent it.
Yeah.
And yeah, they wanted to rent it for like almost half the price.
Ah, okay.
But yeah, I got it even for cheaper because I'm broke.
So you're like the warehouse, how do you call it, guard?
Yeah, basically.
Basically,
Yeah. Where's warehouse guard that has a cat?
No, but like, what will happen if they actually come back from their long ass trip?
They are. I mean, they're in Russia right now. They
Ah.
came right now today.
Oh.
They come every couple of months. They rent an apartment for themselves.
Oh, okay. So they don't kick you out. Where do they live now?
They live in an apartment of one of their friends.
No. I mean like, because they don't live in Russia. Or?
No, they came to Moscow today.
Ah, but they live-
Before that, they were in Georgia. Before that,
Ah.
Turkey.
Oh,
Living the dream.
yeah.
Escaping the Russian army, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
That's me in
Man,
1 year,
that-
No,
basically.
actually, because the guy is over 30 and
Ah.
they're just.
It does,
But
it
they're
doesn't
drafting,
ma-
I think.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I
It
think
doesn't
they're
matter. He's
drafting.
even over 50.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
About 50, I don't know. I think
Like there were guys who were like over 4. I know of a few stories of guys over 40 who got drafted, and it was like they shouldn't be drafted, from what I understood,
Yeah.
but they got drafted anyways.
No, but still, I think I know that you can, if you want, you can go to special operations war, whatever the fuck you want to call
Uh-huh.
it. But like
Special Operations War.
special war, we call it.
It's very special. It's retarded.
Special operations. It's like you're doing what do you call it? Plastic surgery.
Yeah, special.
You're coming out there without a leg and an arm.
Yeah. And just coming out in general, just
Yeah.
okay. Fuck me, Ukraine. I don't know. No, but like I know. I think you can, if you want to sign up, you can. But there's a certain age from like I believe 18 if you're not studying, till I don't fuck. If
This
I
is
know.
why like the education in Russia is very high. All men are studying.
Oh yeah, it's the same thing in my country. Like everybody has PhDs, at least one. It's maybe several, guys, because they just don't want to go to the army.
Yeah,
I know a couple of people in my university. They're actually looking into getting their masters and PhDs just to like
Yeah.
not go to
Yeah.
this war thingy.
It's amazing. And there's a new law. I'm not sure if it's already out or they're like drafting this law. Is that if you get this paveska, the paper that says that you're drafted, that you're it will be an electronic thing. So if you want to travel, you won't be able to.
So it's gonna be on your record, basically.
Yes, yes.
Fuck.
But I think basically now even they get it on the like social media. So even now it's the same because I have a friend. Every time he gets a notification from Moses Lugi, he literally shits himself.
He's like, debt? Yes, I'm fine with that.
yes.
Yeah. No, like we have story when we lived in an apartment, me and my flatmates. The apartment owner called us when the mobilization thing started happening, and he called us. He's like, "Listen, guys, you don't know me. You have never seen me. If anybody asks about me, you only deal with my wife." Okay, listen. You don't know my wife. You don't know me. Yeah.
You're just squatting.
How are we here? Like, yeah, are we squatting here? He goes, just say you took it from our friends. Like, what? And it happened that we were getting those like papers every 2-3 days. We would get someone who's like serving the papers, and they would put it on the door. And one day, since like 8 a.m. like they woke up for this. Imagine like a Russian the work here starts usually 10 p.m. like officially.
I think at 9, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like the person who's like putting this is just ready. So at 8 a.m. we get like knocks on the door, and me and my flatmate were freaking out. We're not opening the door because we don't want to answer this stuff. We had the contract, we had everything for the apartment, but we don't want to answer this because if they ask us, like it's so obvious, and all they have to do is just, they can mess with our phones, they can take the phones and all
They
of that.
can?
Yeah. They can like call the police. And we didn't want, so we didn't answer until like 2 p.m. I get a message from my like now ex-girlfriend, and she says that the mobilization has stopped. And in the news, it said that the mayor of Moscow said, everybody who has this paper, just throw it away. Very easily. This is very how do you say anti-global warming or pro-global warming? I don't know which one it is. And like fuck the trees, basically.
Yeah.
And what happens is that when we open the door, we're like, okay, fuck, we'll open the door and take any paper there and just throw it. We open the door and there was a paper that said, "We're your downstairs neighbors. Your fucking toilet is leaking."
Oh god.
It's just fucking
No. Agreeing with
and
what
Omar once, I remember he did this. He gets his how do you call it? Shathat, like his random things. So one day he was trying to convince every comedian that he got drafted.
Oh yeah, I remember. Actually, I was there too. He was like
Yeah. It was just I cut my hair. Like I buzzed it. I used to have like super long hair, and I buzzed my hair, and everyone was like, "Why are you getting drafted?" And I'm like, funny you say that. I am, as a matter of fact.
It's a gag that just he went over. He went with it.
And then I was, I'm getting drafted next week, and then next week I came to the show, and they were like, I thought you were getting drafted, and I was like, but they told me, hey, you're gonna get drafted again in a month or two. So I told them, I'll have a month or two, but then everyone thought that it was a lie, and I was like, fuck it.
Yeah, I remember that day he came and I told him why you did this. And he just came and I was the first person.
Yeah, I think so. You're the first person.
He told me, yeah, I'm getting drafted. And I kind of believed it. And he showed me a picture. And he told me, bro, I was lying, but the way you believed it, I think it's gonna work. So I'm just gonna start fucking with people.
And I made him help, like, spread the rumor with me.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I was helping him actually.
One comedian was sad. She was telling me like, yeah, Omar was like getting drafted, and she was sad on her face. And my girlfriend was like telling me, he's not drafted. Is he? Is he? And I said, yeah, that's it. Like he is. It's obvious that he got drafted.
But like I'm not sure.
I didn't believe you. I said, yeah, good luck. I hope you come back like, with 200,000 rubles and missing like a few fingers.
Yeah.
And she started like getting angry at me for wishing him to lose fingers.
And you didn't know it's a joke.
I didn't. But, to be honest, it was so obvious. It's a freaking joke. Here's why. If you've seen people who were drafted, you would get the difference in faces.
Ah.
You know, like he looked fresh. You don't look fresh. You
Yeah,
look
because my
fair.
haircut was really nice that day. Oh,
Yeah.
super fresh.
Look like you've been to the shower, but you also dropped the soap. You know, not really fresh. It's also like when me and Steve started this rumor of the bisexual monkey, and it was just we would just talk about it for like 20 seconds.
What's the rumor of the bisexual monkey?
That's the thing. Nobody knows what it is. We would
Okay.
just talk about the bisexual monkey for like 10 seconds. And then people were like, what is the bisexual monkey? And we were like, oh no, it's something like you don't need to know. And like it became this thing in the conversation club that we had, and everybody wanted to know what the fuck is this bisexual monkey. So yeah, it's kind of trolling is fun.
Probably-
Especially when you do
I
that
love
really
trolling, man. Yeah, I actually with it because I know his girlfriend personally. Weird, but she always says that I lie a lot. When in reality, I'm just trolling.
Yeah, no, there's one day when it didn't backfire basically when so he babysits her kids, and one day he got really late, and what was your excuse?
Oh, no. Okay, so I was late. It was I think the
First the
time.
excuse. Tell them the excuse.
So the excuse is I told her, I don't know why the trains were running late. I think someone jumped on the tracks and died. She thought I was lying, and I was telling her I think this is what happened because usually trains run here like on time.
Yeah.
She was the whole time you're a liar, blah blah blah.
yeah.
10 minutes later, they post about it on the news on the Metro News channel I'm following, and I showed her, and she's like, "Oh, you're not lying."
You're like, actually, I was lying, but
No, I wasn't lying because I said I think that's what
did
happened.
the guy die?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what's
It happens a lot
Have you
here.
ever been in this Metro news, like the Telegram channel?
No.
It has so many people jerking off in
It's-
the metro.
It's just that and jerking off. Yeah, I think I showed you this. It's like
Bro, I've been here for 2 years and nobody has shared
15,
this.
15 years, I only saw two people jerking off.
in real life.
Yeah, one of them was
Oh.
my cousin, but never mind. That's a story for another time.
I think I heard that story.
Well, it was 6 a.m. and after like clubbing, and he was like trying to like hook up with a chick, and she was like really hot, and it was working with him. Like she was like doing all the signs that she was giving him and he was a really good dancer. She was dancing with him the whole time.
In the metro?
No.
No, in the club.
Oh, in the
Club,
club.
yeah. And he was so happy with it until she told him, I want you to meet my boyfriend. He said, what? So what did you just say? I want to meet my boyfriend. And my cousin instantly, he goes like with like really insane imaginations. And his brain went, they want me for a threesome. And then he saw her boyfriend, he's like, I am gonna be the threesome. I'm gonna be the guy who's receiving everything. So he's like, no. And she just like was so angry at it. And we were in the metro. He took to a corner. He goes, man, I can't. I'm like I have such a raging boner.
And but the cart was the wagon was empty. Yeah.
Morgan was empty.
And you were there.
Oh yeah, but I was there, but I was like in the far away from him. I was like, I don't know who that person. Do you know what he did to me
Oh, fuck.
in the metro?
After he's like, hey, shake my hand.
I didn't even look in his direction for like 1 week. There's once when he fucked me royally. So at that time I didn't know Russian really well.
Oh.
And in the metro, oh man, this is I'll tell you. So in the metro when they say подозрительных предметов, сообщать машинисту. If you find anything suspicious, any suspicious material,
Oh, yeah.
tell the driver, whatever. And the moment that phrase ends, my cousin jumps out of the wagon, points at me and says подозрительный предмет, and he fucks off. And I'm sitting there going, and the doors close, and everybody in the fucking wagon looking at me and I'm going,
Oh, God.
what's happening? I didn't get what's happening, Oh man, no, he was evil as fuck. You know what he did to me? So at Sibia, the push and pull. At Sibia, the Sibia, he taught me those phrases opposite way. And I make a joke about it, but it's true. In Rode in Pierce University of Russia, there's a spare bag. My face is literally printed on on the spirit bank, and here's how much I'm a trusty person, especially with my cousin. Hey, it's your cousin. How would he lie to you? And if someone tells you, "Would I lie to you?" These are fucking liars.
Oh yeah.
And he told me, "No, man. Like in my head, they're the ones who are wrong, not him."
Yeah, they put the
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh man.
So much trust, man, and yeah, you have some.
This is why I have trust issues to
I mean, as Persians, Iranians, we always say never trust an Arab. So that's where you went wrong, you know.
Actually, yeah, this is the same thing my dad told me first. The first thing when I came to Moscow is like, never trust an Egyptian in Moscow, and I'm like, I don't trust you. Like it's one of those dilemmas or the paradoxes or whatever.
Yeah.
Should I trust you? Because if I don't trust you, that means you're. You get it. I think, yeah.
Are you my dad? No. Okay, so you were a bartender.
Oh yeah.
How was the bartending
I was
job
first.
here?
I was not a bar. First, I was. So this was like this expat bar, which is closed.
Oh, should we say the name?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
can. Who cares?
Yeah, Jim and Jack's.
Jim and Jack's. If you're ever in
Yes.
Russia, you can buy tacos from there nowadays. Yeah.
Yeah, you can buy tacos probably. And so yeah, I used to go there because I was alone as fuck. And then I became the host of the conversation club there for like a year. Then, so yeah, I moved to this new place and I needed more money. So yeah, I started working there as a waiter. And yeah, then became a bartender and was manager for a while. And it's very funny that after I became the manager, the bar closed.
Yeah.
Not related, separate incidents.
But I remember when you were working there, you'd always tell me like a lot of crazy stories that would happen at Jim and Jack's. So which story would you say is the craziest? Like,
The craziest story I've seen was a couple having sex right outside of, like, not even out, like in the yard, like whatever you call
Oh,
it.
you mean the owner of Jim and Jack's?
No, literally, like there was 40 people outside. You know, it was the summer. We were like drinking, like people smoking, talking, blah blah blah, and there were like a couple fucking like 15 meters away from us, 10, 15 meters.
Near the
away.
garbage bins or
No,
behind?
no, no. Like you see the tree.
Yeah.
You know the tree.
Yeah.
Like, the guy was sitting on the edge. You know.
And the homeless guy was on top of him.
And the girl, yeah. And the girl was sitting like backwards to us, and literally like, everybody could see them. And they were having sex for like 15 minutes or so. They didn't give a fuck. They knew
Good
people
shit.
were looking at them. And
good to the guy, man.
the fucked up shit was that so they were having sex, and the guy wanted to like hold the girl's ass or slap it, so he would like lift up her dress, and the girl would get shy and she would like bring her dress down, and I was like, "Bro, you're literally having sex in front of 40 people and you're just worried about your ass being seen." So yeah, and after that we found out that they were using one of the cushions from Jim and Jack's to sit on.
Oh, that's what. That's the sticky cushion. That's why it's sticky.
The one like, with the British flag. and
Yeah.
shit. So and then Hassan was like, "Yeah, one of you," like he was like, "Yeah, go get the cushion," you know. And we looked at each other like, "Motherfucker, I ain't get paid enough."
I'm
to
not
go there."
touching that with your hand. I don't.
Yeah. So and it was like while they were having sex, and like one of the workers there, which you probably know who he is, he's a little bit, on the spectrum. So.
Oh, you mean the spectrum was named after him?
Yeah, exactly. So for some reason he volunteered and he was kind of happy to go, you know. He just went and grabbed the pillow, like, and they continued. They didn't mind it.
the girl's skirt up for a little bit.
Just told the guy, "Give me a pillow," and they did, like, cushion, not a pillow. But yeah.
I think that's why he lasted 15 minutes, because this guy kept on interrupting him.
Yeah, they were going at it good. And the thing is, when they ended, like, they just went to their car. And I was like, you could have done this in the car, you know?
And it was one of those car sharing.
No. It was actually like a Roadster BMW. So, but the thing is, there was like 4 people. Maybe they didn't want
Inside the car.
The 4 people went in after.
Okay.
Maybe that's why they didn't have sex there. I don't know. Maybe because they didn't
They
have
could have
ceiling.
invited them later. Maybe they wanted the cushion. That's why.
I really don't know, man. But like, kudos to them, man. You know, living the
But
dream.
this is not even the crazy.
I think because I was gonna tell him. It's funny that you didn't mention the time when
It's the one sticks to my brain.
Yeah.
Never
well,
forget.
there's a reason why it sticks to your brain, my guy.
I've seen other ones. I've seen one of the people there attack another person with a hammer.
Cool.
I've seen some other.
Yeah.
People passed out. Actually, I saw a girl once. It was like 6 a.m. We were closing, and like we would have to do a check to see like if nobody has passed out or anything. So I went to the toilet, and there was literally a girl passed out in the toilet, and she had thrown up and also pissed herself while passed out on the toilet, and I was like, this is low. This is low. Like even for me, that was.
For the 8 years that I've been there, I've seen that twice, but not pissing. Number two.
And literally they
Yeah.
took a picture of her.
And one of them used to be my flatmate.
Oh,
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. Not talking about. Is it a female?
No,
Okay, then no.
the female, the female. Shout out to Natasha. No, that's a whole. She is a whole crazy person.
Yeah, because I was warned about her a couple of
Man,
times.
she's like I always say like she's one of the most fun people ever. You never like every day is an adventure.
Yeah.
With her, every day is an adventure. Every 2-3 weeks, we used to have like a bet when she would lose her phone. Because she lost her phone every 2 weeks.
Really?
Literally every 2 weeks, and when she passed the 2 week mark, we celebrate. And then
Like
she would lose it 2 days later.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Oh yeah, man. But well, she used to be a drug dealer in
what?
where she came from.
She used to be a what?
Drug dealer.
Ah.
In her previous
Wow.
Used to be. Now she's
previous
on the,
drug dealer.
she's
Now
on
she
the
just
up and up.
She's a teacher, yeah?
Yeah.
Now she just makes it. She
Now
doesn't.
basically now she's always high.
Crazy. Yeah, lots of crazy stuff happening.
It's funny that you didn't mention the story about like when the police raided your bar. Because
I mean, it was expected to be
one of
honest.
the owners allegedly was doing drugs in the bar and they
Yeah.
deported
It's
like
not
what,
drug
3
dealing.
workers?
I think some.
They got two workers.
Yeah.
And I remember when that happened, I was just leaving Jim and Jack's when they entered, and then I think you were the one who told me.
Yeah, I was. So I was sitting there. I was not working that day. I was just sitting there with a bunch of friends, like talking and
Outside,
shit.
yeah?
Yeah, it was outside. Yeah, and I was drunk. Surprise, surprise. So yeah, I was drunk as fuck. And the police came. Like there was like 14, 15 of them with dogs and like AK-47s and shit. And everybody was so worried. And I was sitting with a bunch of friends, and one of them was a girl, Denise, the Turkish girl.
Yeah.
She was worried. And I told her, "Why are you worried?" She was like, "I don't, it's the police. We're for it." I was like, "Don't you have doctors?" She was like, "Yeah, I have." What the fuck are you worried? So it just became a thing that I enjoyed, like bothering her and making her more scared.
I love. You know what he told me? They were checking everybody there, and then they go to him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they ask him like, "You didn't have your documents or some shit like
I
that."
didn't have shit.
Yeah.
So the thing is, like, actually, they didn't check me because we were outside. They didn't check people outside.
Ah.
And they closed the door. They closed the door and they said, "Yeah, bar is closed. Nobody comes in." The people were inside. They were talking to them, and I had to pee. I had to pee, and I was like, "Man, I don't care. I'm going to go pee." So I just opened the door. I went in, and I had the keys. I opened it, I went and I peed, and literally I was there. I flushed, came out, and 2 policemen came, looked, and they were like, "The fuck are you doing here?" And they were like, they spoke Russian to me. They were like, "What are you doing?" They were like, "Sorry, I don't know Russian." And they spoke English, and they said, "Yeah, what are you doing here? Where are you from?" And I said, "I'm from Iran." They were like, "Oh yeah, okay, fuck it." They didn't care. They were like,
I'm so using this every time they stop me.
You're from
I'm from Iran.
Yeah, usually
I'll show your
gets
ID.
It usually gets you out of a lot of things. Just you're like, "Oh, one of the last friends we have."
Yeah, this happened with me. When was it? Maybe like a month ago. Just like a routine check every time happened, and they asked me where are you from. I showed them like because I have my passport on my phone, I showed them like my passport. So where's this? I say I'm Palestinian. They go, oh, Palestina.
Ah.
And they say like, how do you call it? Like, well, everything is good. Hope everything is good. I was like, yeah, everything is
Leave
amazing.
all the Palestinians.
Amazing here.
Amazing, yeah, Palestinian.
And that's it. I was like, yeah, this is like a get out of policeman.
Yeah.
Just get out of jail free card or whatever. Fucking.
I haven't been like stopped by the police a lot. Actually, I've been only once, and it was a Russian guy's fault. We were driving, and they pulled us over because he like did something that he shouldn't supposed to do, and they wanted to take money, and they were like, "Oh, foreigner," you know.
Man.
That's the only thing I've ever been checked for
A
documents.
friend of mine, he used to have his girlfriend's father's car. Like he used to drive it, and one day the police stopped him. So what he had, like they stopped him. Everything is fine with him. All documents, everything is fine. And when they stopped him, it was clearly that they wanted something off the record or whatever under the table. And my friend had a fake 500 rubles.
Ah.
So he gave them a fake 500 rubles after drinking with the policeman in his car. Yeah.
Wow.
But that guy used to work in Jordan. Like he's highly experienced in this, to the point where he would literally, when police, like he would drive drunk. Don't drive drunk. That's a fucking shitty habit. And when they stop him, he would literally give them a bottle of whiskey, which he got from the hotel where he used to work as for free. And they would let him.
This in Jordan, yeah.
This in Jordan. They would let him go. And he did the same here. And he gave him like a 500 ruble, which is a fake 500 ruble. And when he drove away, he was telling me how I was freaking out. Because if he discovers fake 500, he will like really now be very not like meticulous, just annoying, let's say.
And
he
he
was-
disrespected also.
Yes,
like,
yes. And when he drove away, so he drives away. He parks, and it's a rich area where he used to be at. And he checks the car inside, and he finds the police baton in his car. The policeman's
police were
baton.
drinking in his
And
car.
they were in his car, and they forgot the police baton inside.
Ah.
So what did he do? He took the baton and with the car and went back to them and gave them the baton. And the policeman was like, "Thank you. You don't
That'll be
know."
fun, yeah.
And my
They gave him
friend,
500 rubles back.
so yeah, man.
A real one this time, you know.
Wow.
For those who are not in Russia, here police likes to solve the problems on the scene, you know.
You just tell them, how can we solve it in another way?
Yeah, exactly. I told you I've only been stopped once, and I called Hassan, and I was like, yeah, he knows how to deal with this
Yeah.
shit. At first, he was like, yeah, scare him. Tell him, yeah, I'm gonna call the embassy.
Yes.
And I was like, bro, it's the Persian embassy. They don't even answer like in business hours, you know. So, and then he said, all right, just tell them that how can we solve this in another way.
Yeah.
And I literally told them, and they were like, "Oh yeah, my kid is playing hockey, and he needs new shoes or something like this." You know, if that would be solved, it would be very good.
There's once when we got stopped, me and my friend, and this time I was a student. And we had the registration. On the registration, it says like there's a stamp. The stamp says that this is like a student basically.
Yeah.
So it was 2 a.m. They were literally in need of a bribe. Like it was like so obvious. So they would start searching my friend. They started searching me, and then we give them the registration. My friend's papers are fucked because he was kind of like a refugee here, and here Russia doesn't признать. Accept the United Nations refugee status thing. They don't care about it. And but my friend had so much paper with him that to scroll through all the papers they couldn't care less. So they start fucking with me, and they take my registration, and I see the guy look, and they say, "Oh, this is a wrong stamp. This stamp is for people who work. You don't work. You're a student. So this is a wrong stamp. We have to take you to the police station." You know. So I know that he was messing with me.
Yeah.
And I tell him, "You are messing with me. I know what this stamp is. I want to file a complaint against you. Let's go to the police station."
And then what did he do?
He was like two police just went, "What?"
Uh-huh.
They just the computation in their brains, like the Windows 3.1 in their head
Yeah,
just
yeah.
stopped. And then he was telling me what I said, no, I want to go file a complaint against you. You're trying to take a bribe. I'm gonna file a complaint against you. Take me to the police station. And I went inside their car just to
Yeah.
mess with them. And here's the problem. When you show the passport, keep the passport in your hand.
That's the mistake I made. They take your
I made the
passport.
same mistake as well.
And here's the thing. I gave them my passport and then I went inside. And the moment I went inside, the moment I sit, it dawned on me, wait, my passport is with them. All they had to do was just throw it.
Yeah.
And I would have been fucked royally. So one of them goes to me and just opens the door. And I hear his partner goes, just let him out. This guy's crazy, let him out. So that's what gave me my passport, my registration.
Yeah.
And we went, and I'm walking with my friend, and my face, the moment they drove away, I went pale. I went vampire. Like, wow, that's one of the biggest mistakes in my life, man.
Yeah.
All they had to do was just like either rip the registration or just throw the passport. That's it. I was gone.
I remember. I'm sorry. Yeah, I remember like the first time I got a call. Someone was trying to like. So a fellow comedian of ours, she gets in the car drunk. She crashes the car,
Oh, yeah.
and
I
she
have a
calls
feeling I
me.
know who she is.
Yeah, I think you definitely know. I mean, female comedian, man. Come on,
Who's
there's
drunk.
only one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she calls me, and I was like, what, like 18, 19, so I didn't have any experience with dealing with the police.
Yeah.
And then my retarded ass decides to talk to the second youngest comedian I know, Vanya Stepanov.
Yeah.
Shout out. And me and him were trying. She gave us the phone to the police, and we were trying to talk to the police, and we were like, we don't know what to say, and then we were like. And then she said like, oh, let's try to bribe them or something like that. And I was like, okay. So me and the comedian were like, so this is not us saying this. We're just being we're translating.
That's the way to go.
And she
We're
goes,
being transgenders.
Definitely.
and then she was like, yeah, because we were being pussies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for a moment, let me put my dick in my pocket.
Do you guys want tea?
I'm good.
Yeah?
I'm good.
I don't care, as you know. If it is, I like it. If it's not, I don't care.
Yeah. So and we were telling them, hey, is there a way to solve it in a different way? And so they tell us, this policeman does think by the books, and he's the one who like hangs up on us, and we're like standing there, we don't know what to do, and then we're just like, I fucking let her deal with it, and I think she dealt with it. Well, she got her license suspended, so I don't
That's how she dealt with it.
No, the police stories here are funny. Do you guys do this when you pass the
we
shisha?
do.
Do you like tap the hand?
We do that for passing it and also for lighters. If somebody likes
Yeah,
your
it's like a
cigarette.
thank you.
Yeah, but the thing is, I've never been into that culture a lot,
Yeah.
you know? So it's not like engraved in my brain to do it. I only do it if I remember. Like, I gotta be like, okay, remember, Omid, you gotta do this now.
No, like this here in like in Jordan, I didn't care about it because my shisha was my shisha. Nobody
It wouldn't get
nobody
past-
touches it.
yeah.
Nobody. And when I came here, and I lived with like literally all nationalities, from Syrians to like Lebanese, like from Arabs, Africans, all of this. And when you sit with the Syrians and the Lebanese guys, they really
care about it.
this stuff. The pass, like the tap,
Yeah.
don't touch the cup, don't
Yeah.
do all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And at that time, you can smoke in cafes. And I remember there was a table next to us, and it was the table was Syrians and Lebanese who really disliked each other because these guys are from Hezbollah, like these guys are pro whatever, these guys are against whoever it is, these guys love the moon, and other people they're like into astrology and all that shit. And one guy like puts this, like not puts it, just how do you call it, like the ashes of the cigarette just fall in the tray. Man, a fight broke out like instantly. 1 second they were just discussing politics, Arabs discussing stuff we don't know shit about or whatever someone told us, we compute it in our heads. That's it, it's inside our our hard disk. And he puts it and it instantly went into a fist fight.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I had two Lebanese guys I used to know, and they jump to break the fight. And I'm just sitting in the corner, the Jordanian, all the Jordanians just sitting there and just smoking and watching. And I remember why, because I had a shitty Nokia phone that I couldn't record this.
You were sad as fuck.
Yeah, and then I couldn't record this because of how dumb for me it was.
That would be funny to
Yeah, man.
This was like how many years ago?
2010, 2011.
That was kind of the age to upload it somewhere too. That was the age of uploading fights.
I'll tell you, in this,
commentary.
in Jordan, man, you remember the culture of the, I was about to say stand-up cafes, computer cafes,
Yeah.
internet cafe and all this. So we would always sit, I would bring my kalyan, my shisha, and we'd sit outside. And one day guys come in to have a fight with one of our friends. The thing that they didn't know, so it was over, League of Legends game. And he told them fuck off, and they were angry, and they literally like, where are you? And he told them where he is, and they came to us to have a fight with him. What they didn't know is my friend, the one they want to have a fight with, is actually a boxer, a very good fucking boxer.
Is it the big guy who you told me
Now I'll
kicked the
tell you.
shit out?
Now I'll tell you. And our other friend, he's a very calm guy until he's not, and he's really big, like fucking huge, MMA fighter, bodybuilder, takes estrogen, steroids basically. Estrogen, I should say.
Estrogen, yes.
Actually,
Well,
they do take
it
estrogen.
raises the
It
level.
raises testosterone, but some reason they take estrogen too. I'm not
Yeah,
sure
it's
why.
something balance or whatever for the tits. I think for the man tits.
I wouldn't know. No balance here.
No, you have one man tit, and so he comes out.
Still
And,
bigger than your girlfriend.
Okay.
and so he goes down just to talk to them. And when there's a group of guys who see one guy who wants to talk, they think that they're they're four guys.
Yeah.
And he's talking to them normally. So what he does with his sleeve is he puts his sleeve just a little bit up,
Yeah.
and the moment they saw this, I could see that they shit themselves because they thought he was gonna beat the shit out of them. An old guy comes in just to see what's happening. So the moment they see the old guy in, they put the old guy between them.
Well,
And they
this
start
guy-
shouting at my friend, he
Oh, yeah.
he pulled up his sleeves, blah blah. So the moment they say that, what did I do? I just went inside, told my friend, give me your phone, 10,000 views on YouTube. Give me your fucking phone. He just sat there, I swear to God, with the phone, and just like, I just gotta record this shit. And then
This
guys
is gonna
come,
go away.
and then guys come out from the cafe, who are really also big. And they go, what's the problem? And I go, guys, sit down. Watch, cinema. John Woo movie right now. They're shouting at my friend, and my friend, I see his eye twitch, and I go, oh man, someone's gonna die. I hope this old man just moves away.
Yeah.
Because he told the old man, him, move away a little bit. So calmly, he's like, move away a little bit. And my friends come, he's like, Abed, go stand with Sufyan. I was like, no, you guys crazy. If I stand with him, I'm gonna be the one getting beaten. No, I'm not gonna do
Gonna
that.
use you as a weapon.
Yeah, as a weapon, more like as a mop for the blood. There is. These guys just, when like you're peacocking,
Yeah.
and suddenly you become a chick. This is the sounds that I hear from them, and they just move away, put their head down, and just walk away. And I just go, what? Why?
No views on YouTube.
Guys, come back. And then the boxer comes down, the guy who they're supposed to fight, he goes, what's wrong? He didn't even know that there was gonna be a fight.
I don't know if to say this story is like masculine and tough or gay, because like it's tough because they were like, oh yeah, let's fight, and also it was over like League of Legends or whatever.
Yeah.
So you don't know, you can't decide if it's gay or not.
For me, the most surprising part is how many bodybuilders were in the internet cafe to
They
begin
play
with.
League of Legends.
Exactly.
And all of them, when they hold the mouse, they cover the mouse with their like hand.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's Middle East. You don't have anything else to do.
Yeah,
It's
all
just
the
a Kalyan place, internet cafe,
Yeah,
and a gym.
bodybuilding, yeah, the gym.
Yeah, but I assume because I remember when I was in Egypt and I used to go to internet cafes. People would go to the internet cafes look like us, not
Oh,
bodybuilders.
Because like, bro, like here, my friends who came here from my countries, like they were below average bodybuilders in Iran. Like not even like a competing thingy. No, just in the gym. You would go in the gym randomly. They were below average. Two of them that I know are here. Both of them are gym coaches now. Because in Russia, like it's not comparable to at least Iran, my country. I know that because there's nothing to do there as a guy. You don't have a job because there's no factories.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So there's only, like, especially my city is, like, famous for this. Like, there's only a couple of things you can do. It's just the hookah place, the gym, and playing some games. That's it. Like, nothing else exists to do.
Yeah, there's once also this happened to my friend. So you're built, but about 1 meter taller, you know.
Amazing.
And you four guys like this.
It's the...
And they were in their car, and while they were like putting gas in the car, one guy in another car, and he finished, and he honks for them.
Yeah.
And he honks and honks, and they're all very chill guys. Again, until they're not. And the moment they're not, that's it. Someone like there's gonna be police, there's gonna be hospital. There's his family, like one of their family is gonna be asking
Forgiveness from the
another family, you know.
And the head of a marriage of as well. Like,
From the-
two
the-
birds at one stone. Or whatever the fuck.
And the funny thing is, this is what my friend tells me. So the car is small, so this guy just honks, and like I don't know, the fourth or fifth honk, they all get out from the car, and the car literally pops up, jumps up because of all of them. They're all like 100 kilo plus. You know, they just pop and muscle. Not like it's just and the car pops, and the moment that happened, the guy who honks the car just reverses back.
Lock the door. Like, oh, sorry, my door is broken.
Just reverses and goes. Drives away and then just goes, yeah, no.
That's perfect.
You have a lot of road problems, like fights in.
You know, oh yeah.
Because of the road.
Oh yeah, it's huge because, like, especially like you know, it's Middle East. Nobody wants to be weak. Nobody wants to show their power.
Yeah.
Especially if they're sitting with a lady up there, so, you know. So yeah, everybody is like extra.
Talk.
Yeah, so they're like extra ready
Yeah.
to be peacocking, you know.
I remember, like, actually, I can never forget this day. My dad we were going from Cairo back to Alexandria, and on the road he saw a guy. He was selling one of those like batons, but like the ones that are made out of wood, and they were wrapped in
wrap it out with the black tape.
leather.
Ah,
black
yeah,
leather.
yeah.
Yeah.
And my dad, he bought it. He goes, because he thought it looked cool. He's like, oh man, it looks cool. Like, I can beat
Yeah.
my kid with it. Like,
Yeah.
He'll never get an A. He'll always get an A plus.
yeah. And on our way back to Alexandria, the same day, a guy, like, he was, I don't know why he like, a guy didn't want to give his parking space away to my dad, even though my dad had the right for this parking space or something like that. And then he goes out, like, the guy goes out of his car, my dad goes out of the car, goes to the back seat, gets out this baton, and the guy goes, are you gonna beat me with this baton? And I couldn't hear it, but I couldn't hear what my dad said, but I can see my dad nodding yes.
Yeah.
And the guy goes, I'm sorry.
And your dad is huge.
No, he's the same height as me now. He's
Really?
yeah. I think now he's even shorter than me.
Okay, but when I saw him when he came to the stand-up show once, I thought he was like he couldn't sit in the chair, the small
No,
chair.
he had like a big coat like this.
Okay.
Big coat, yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing
Yeah,
when you want to
no,
masturbate in the metro.
So like, my city is famous in my country for fights. So we're known as like the hooligans or whatever you want to call us. Especially because like we are the second in poverty in Iran. Like we're second in poverty in Iran. We are the first in HIV, first in addicts. So it's and also first in depression and suicide. Like we're the best.
Shout out.
So
Yeah.
depression, suicide, gym, internet cafes.
Yeah, that's all we do. Literally.
Shisha.
Yeah. So and that's why a lot of fights happen on the street. And it has happened to me even myself. Like I'm not a very confrontational person, but it happened to me 2-3 times. And what I learned was you don't
I
need
heard
to
it conflirtatious.
confrontations. You don't need to fight.
I'm not gonna fuck you, but would you like some coffee after?
So,
I'll wine and dine you before I fuck you, basically.
the thing is, you just gotta look like you're crazy.
Yeah.
You don't need to be actually crazy. So what I would do was like as soon as I knew a fight is gonna happen, I would immediately just reach back the car, like I'm trying to reach for something, and they would usually go away. They wouldn't stay. So that's what I did. Like I had a knife and like a brass knuckle, and I would usually would just take it out and they would leave. If they were like 40-year-old family dudes, you know. But if it's like a no-life crazy 25-year-old, he doesn't give a fuck. One of us is getting killed and it's a good cause, you know. He doesn't care. Obviously, both of us are no lives. Nobody cares about us. So yeah, and there's a hospital that's designated for fights in my city, and the thing is, people,
So this is it for fights?
yeah, like people who get injured in fights. It's
I
like,
thought you go to the hospital to fight.
fight. Yeah, it's not like a fight club, you know.
Oh, you beat cancer. Can you beat me, motherfucker?
Can you beat this? So the thing is, the problem was it was like they turned it into an educational hospital because because no like no doctor wanted or no nurse that wanted to work there. So they would send the students to work there. And the problem was, for example, let's say I would hit your brother, you know, and he was in like a coma or he was hurt in the hospital. So then we were in the hospital. Your family would come there to beat the shit out of me, or beat the shit out of like my family or something. And it happened so much that it was like a normal thing. And my friend was studying medicine and he was there. And he told us that one time they were operating on a person who was shot in a fight. They were trying to save him, and like he was like 15 minutes into like trying to like stop the bleeding and shit like that. The guys that tried to kill him walked into the hospital, walked into the operation room because like the guards there, they don't get paid enough. They don't get fucked. They just
Like,
walked
we're
in.
students as well.
Yeah, and they just like shot a bullet in the head of the patient on the bed of the operating room and left.
And there was no doctor in the.
There was doctors. They said they just moved. They shot him in the head and
The
left.
doctor was the one who gave him the gun. This is like
I mean, you don't
15
get-
minutes and trying to stop a bleeding in his knee.
Bro,
It's not-
yeah. The thing is, you don't get paid enough.
Or
To
he
get in
just
the
gets the
middle.
bullet out of his chest, and they're like, "Oh, I can do that now." And they're like, "Can you get it out of his
So
chest?"
it was like literally they just shot him in the head and they left. And that's it.
Or maybe,
And but did the kids, did these kids get arrested ever or no?
Oh yeah, they get hanged. They get hanged.
I love get hanged in their room. Yeah.
No,
You
no,
get
no.
detention.
No, the police like arrest them and they're like, you have to pay shit ton of money and also you have to make the other family forgive you. And because the families don't forgive, they hang them.
Ah,
So yeah, it happens a lot.
I know in the
Nobody
south of
cares.
Egypt we have the whole like revenge stuff.
Revenge,
Yeah. It's big. Like, so you shoot my kid, I shoot your.
Yeah, you shoot your kid, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we go more. We shoot your that family, but yeah.
No, this usually like it happened in Jordan, but not. So if something like this happens, what they do is they get like a family member of the opposing team, you know,
Referee.
and they just shoot him somewhere where he won't die, but he will never forget it.
Ah.
You know, knee in the butt. You know, so that you, whenever you sit, you remember.
You remember
what
what
your
the-
fucking cousin did.
Yeah, only with you. No,
Oh.
it's really
Oh, man.
shit. And actually, in the south part of Iran, where the Arabs live, that's where we don't have hanging for murder because
You have marriage.
yeah, because it's called blood pay or something. Because, for
Yeah.
example, I've killed your son. Even if they hang me, they know you're gonna come and kill my son.
Ah.
So
Yeah.
you know, they just don't hang. They're like, okay, instead of 3 people, 2 people die.
I love this in the Japanese culture. Well, this in the, you know, why
Before they
1500s.
became gay.
Yeah, before they got a nuclear
exactly.
explosion and they took the world over with Sony PlayStation.
Yeah.
but what like they would do the what do you call the harakiri or the seppuku, the act of
The
like
honorable
the honorable
suicide.
and honorable
Right.
suicide, and someone would not only the person himself who caused the dishonor, sorry, it would be also his offspring. Like he would cut off his let's say his legacy, his lineage. You know, I would love for them to see this and go, you know what? I'm not sure we're that bad, you know.
You know, spilling a cup of tea wasn't wasn't the worst thing to happen.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, actually, we had one of these like famous guys like who was like hooligans, you know. And before like 20 years ago, these guys were very respected
Yeah.
because they were
That's
hooligans, but not for normal people. You know, yeah, they would beat the shit out of people, they would kill people, but like they would do it to people who deserved it.
Ah.
For example, they would find out, oh yeah, this guy beat his wife. And they would go beat the shit out of him, stuff like that. This guy's a drug dealer, yeah, let's go rape him, you know, stuff like that. So they were kind of respected.
I love killing for the what was it for the
Beating the wife?
Beating the wife is killing. Drug dealing.
So stuff like this. And one of them was, they were in a gathering, you know, and we call it nishast, which means sitting. When like
Okay. Yes,
important
yes,
people
yes,
like
yes,
this,
yes.
yeah, it was a sitting, you know. And one of them farted.
Okay.
It was not intended, he farted.
I don't think there's ever been an intended one.
And this they kept talking for an hour, and after an hour, when they got up, they were like, oh, "This guy's very silent, blah blah blah." They tried to like tell him they felt maybe he was embarrassed or fell asleep or something, and they found out the guy literally had a heart attack, like from the embarrassment. He died.
farting?
The guy who farted, he was so embarrassed that the guy had a heart attack
A
and
whole
died.
new meaning to silent but deadly.
Actually, he wasn't silent, but yeah.
Well, he was silent.
He was. He was very
Wow.
silent.
Wow, man.
That's so
You guys die a lot, yeah? Wow.
At least the Middle East, man.
Fucking hell, man.
It's an everyday thing.
The shitty thing is, like, Iran is
Shitty thing.
known as like a chill one, you know. We don't have wars, we don't have like terrorists and shit, but still, like, we have ourselves. We don't need, we don't need the Israelis to come. We have ourselves.
We can ruin ourselves.
This is
but-
why like the Israelis like just the scientists, the others that kill themselves. These guys will never become scientists.
Yeah, and, like, we've been through reverse like natural selection, you know, because like 40 years ago, so when the revolution happened, the government, like not the government, the revolutionary whatever they were, they called themselves the government, but so they killed every important person, every person who knew a thing they killed, and the rest they left the country. So it was just a bunch of leftovers and dumb people left, to be honest. And after that, for like the next 10 years, also anybody who could leave left the country. And besides that, like right now, there's literally only dumb people in the country.
I have
Like imagine, I'm even not in Iran. Like imagine the ones who are left there. Like look at the status.
I have a question. So, for example, in Egypt, you guys have a lot of like engineers, doctors, whatever. Yeah. In Iran, I would assume like the same thing, but in
Engineers
the
and
idea of
doctors.
engineering and chemical engineers and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
What's the cause of this? Why do you guys think like this like let's say sprout of I don't know educational people came about? Where did it come from?
Most of it comes from that either your parents are rich or they're not. If they're not rich, there's no job for you.
Okay.
There's no factories, no nothing. Okay, and everybody wants to leave the country, so they tend to study majors that are desirable in destination countries.
Yeah.
That's why, like engineering, like medicine, nursing, stuff like that, because these are the ones that's easier to go out of the country. And literally, like in Iran, it's a normal excuse. They ask you, like, why don't you work? And you're like, oh yeah, my father didn't leave me any money when he died.
Yeah.
And it's like accepted. They're like, oh yeah, I'm sorry. It's like very accepted. Like if your parents didn't leave you any money, you don't have a job to do. You're just best case scenario. You're gonna work in a bank or something where you're not gonna make a lot of money. You know, you're gonna work until like you're 55 or something. And then nothing. Your kids are gonna become junkies who smoke weed, and like there's not.
Is the idea of weed prominent in Iran?
Now younger people, yeah. Before it used to be like older people, it's opium, but younger people is weed.
And
A lot of people.
where
smoke.
does the opium come from? I'm asking for a
Afghanistan.
friend.
Afghanistan comes from Afghanistan. The weed comes from Iran, and we also export shit ton of crystal meth.
Export.
Export,
Crystal
yeah.
meth.
Yeah, because we have pharmaceutical companies that are controlled by the Revolutionary Guard,
Okay.
and they produce it and they sell it to neighboring countries, but mostly they give it to the Albanian mafia, which then
Spreads it.
spreads it in Europe, Russia, a lot of countries.
Ah.
And this is like a known fact. Like there was a list of biggest mafia groups connected to drugs. The first one was the Albanian mafia. The second one was the Revolutionary Guard of Iran.
Whoa.
Cool.
Interesting. Not only do we protect the country,
Oh yeah,
in
yeah.
quotations.
They don't do shit actually. Like literally, when something happens, they're the ones that run away first, because they're just there for the money, and for the status and for the situation. They don't give a fuck about anything. They're religious, basically.
Yeah.
They have to
Yeah.
show they're religious, you know.
Okay, well, man.
But it's a very fun country. And the
Oh,
thing
I
is,
bet.
Yeah,
Iran.
I mean, they
The
always
situation-
say Iran is high and mighty.
Yeah, I mean, Iran makes the situation in other countries worse than the situation in Iran. Like, Iran is better than countries that Iran is active in. Like, Iran's situation is better than Iraq, better than, like,
Yeah.
Yemen, better than Syria. They fuck them way more than they fuck in Iran. Like,
Yeah, well, Iraq. You have to take consider Iraq under what? How many years of, dictatorship, and Syria actually was till the Syrian Revolution happened. It was some people call it a revolution, some people call it whatever. Like, this wasn't even a revolution, but like in Iraq, for example, it's the same example of how the wealth was literally for the 0.01%. You had like two class. Well, no, you had two classes. If you're Ba'ath or you're not.
Yeah. In Iran, it's not that black and white and that like bad. Still in Iran, you can survive, you can have a life, you can buy your iPhone, you can play your Xbox. But at the same time, it's just like shitty. Once in a while, it hits you in the face with something weird, you know? And you're like, oh, fuck this shit. And also the prices, they just go up every day. Like, people here in Russia, they say, oh yeah, we have, I forgot the word, like inflation. We have inflation. I'm like, motherfucker, you don't know what inflation is.
Yeah.
Like, you have like what? Inflation of like 40%? Motherfucker, come to Iran, we've had years with inflation of 500%.
Yeah.
And like literally when I was 10, the price of $1 was 800 of my currency, 800 riyal, 800 2 months.
Yeah.
Now it's closer to 60,000 2 months in like 12 years.
Okay.
That's, I don't know how many percent, but it's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing with Egypt right now. The inflation is going.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting.
And they're selling in Egypt, for example. Now, they're privatizing many of the governmental things. They're selling a lot of what I read. Like, for example, the electricity company, half of it is owned by foreign, Arabs, like Arab Emirates.
Yeah. Saudis, yeah.
I mean, Iran does that too. Like, in Iran, everything is owned by the government. So sometimes what they do is, in order to make it easier for money laundering and stuff like that, they sell it to a third party, which is, for example, like the cousin of the ambassador or the cousin of the minister. For example, there was a company, the most famous one was a factory, like a sugarcane factory in Iran. And the price of it, let's say, was like $50 million. And they sold it to a guy for like $1 million in installments.
Yeah.
And then that place is used for money laundering because that guy is not connected to the government anymore. So he can go through the sanctions easier. And this has happened a lot in Iran, a lot of bullshit. Yeah, it's just Middle East.
You have a lot of sanctions now in Iran, yeah?
Yeah, after Russia, we have the second highest amount of sanctions.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, it looks like we have less sanctions than Russia, But I think it's because Russia is not used to how to handle it yet. It's been under them for a long time.
Well, plus like when you tell me Iran doesn't, but I think it's probably the oil. Like, what's your main exports?
Right now,
Yeah.
it's oil, and after oil is vegetables, fruits, stuff like that.
Ah, okay.
It's mainly oil and some other stuff like stones and basically we're still in the country.
Do you guys have stand up in Iran?
Stand-up.
Stand-up comedy.
It exists, but it's not the concept that you guys have it in other countries. Because, so basically you cannot joke about anything because there is a huge governmental facility that looks over your material and your material has to be approved first.
Ah, okay.
So even if you're coming up,
I mean, if you're coming up, maybe, but it's not that big because people don't try to be coming up because at the end of it, there's nothing.
Yeah.
So usually people who become famous comedians are like, we have one for every decade.
Yeah.
And like, this is my era as comedian. And like, there's only one person. And so
What's
the
his
thing
name?
is, they're not even, what?
what's the comedian's name?
So before this was a girl called something Mahi. And there's the new guy, I don't even know his name, he's a piece of shit.
Okay.
The ones in Iran who work in Iran, not the foreign ones. So you cannot joke about anything. You cannot make
Yeah.
sexual jokes. You cannot make political jokes. You cannot make racist jokes. Like nothing. You have to just say bullshit.
And so if you make jokes, so can you make jokes about the government?
No, not at all.
Not even government.
No.
So I understand that the spiritual leader, that's off limits.
Oh, that's
that's understandable.
off limits.
Revolutionary Guard, I would assume that's also off
Yeah.
limits. But like government,
Government, maybe in the sense of very local,
yeah.
but nothing above that. No,
I know
you're getting in a sack.
The only thing they joke about are ants. You know?
But it's just literally like stupid jokes. that-
Oil prices is going up.
No, not even that.
Ah,
You cannot
that's-
joke about those stuff. Like the jokes are about like I was in my cousin's home and like I saw my wife's sister's husband and I told him like, oh yeah, if you become a family member, that's when cucumbers becomes a fruit.
But
That's the level of the jokes they can do.
Okay.
That's why nobody watch. I mean, people watch it, but it's like 50-year-old retired people who have nothing
Yeah.
else to do,
Ah.
and they become celebrities.
They can't
become,
go
and
to
then
the-
they play movies and stuff like that. It's just not.
is there a movie culture in Iran?
Yeah, it's a huge movie culture. in Iran,
Like,
actually.
would you? I know this is incomparable, but just like for the sake of it, would you compare it to India's?
So it's not as big as India's, but the thing is, we have two types of movies. We have mainstream for everyone kind of movie, which are comedies,
Yeah.
and actually Iranian comedies are pretty funny. To be honest
Okay.
with you, they're very funny. But those are the mainstream for internal use.
Are they funny? Sorry, are they funny for Iranians, or can they be globally funny?
I don't think they can be globally funny.
Ah,
I'm
okay.
not sure. I don't think so. No, because they're very, they're mostly on like based on the stigmas and like stuff that are normal for us that we know.
Yeah.
You know? But we have a different type of movies, which are like very deep dramas.
Yeah.
that
Indie
are-
movies, basically.
Yeah. Those are high quality as fuck, to be honest with you. Like, they win a shit ton of awards. And they're very good. Like, they're very famous. And, like, even very, you can view, like, very important directors, very important or famous actors talk about them. And, like, even, I think it was Scorsese that said that there's a Iranian guy, or Robert De Niro, I'm not sure, one of them said that this Iranian director is my favorite director.
Oh.
He died a couple of years ago in Germany, but like they all get like one of them, the famous one right now, he has like 3 Oscars. They get like shit on the BAFTAs,
Oh, okay.
Golden Palm or whatever. They make very good movies.
What about right now? This like
For
in
in
Egyptian
Egypt,
case,
well,
yeah.
I also think comedy is the most popular genre,
Yeah.
and I would say it's only popular for Arabs, not
Ah.
only Egyptians. But actually, when I look at the newer stuff that's been out, honestly, I feel like it's really hacky. Especially since I started doing comedy, I feel like the jokes are.
Kind of cringe too.
It's not. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the jokes are basically rehashed of older comedy movies. I feel. Yes, you get the newer.
I used to love like Egyptian movies, like from the old ones to like the old ones had very the ones in like 50s 60s, and they were very interesting because they were all kind of pro government. So there's one movie where they say that the president, like, he did everything, he's amazing, and people would like, if when you watch it in that time, you would be like, yes. You know, and then now when you're like more aware of how everything was, you're like, holy shit, this is all fucking bullshit. You know, but like I remember Egyptian movies were the most like interesting for the other Arab, like the Arab world. Like Egyptian cinema, I think it's the biggest in the Arab
In the Arab world, I think so. Yeah, as well.
It's like the
Yeah,
biggest.
like everybody loves.
Yeah. And well, for me, the latest movies, I started disliking them because now they're just people shouting. You know, and sadly, they take American movies and they just remake them. One of the things that they did recently, they had a movie about werewolves. And you just sit there like, but we don't have that idea of werewolves,
The concept doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You can make it maybe about Div. I don't know if you guys have Div.
What's Div?
It's a huge thing in Iran and India. Basically, countries that have connections to Aryan culture or whatever. Yeah, that's like a scary thing for us. But they should like localize it to something.
Yes, and they don't. They try to like westernize it, which is kind of like
it doesn't make sense.
You know, sadly.
But like in Iran, we have like two very prominent directors that are very good. One of them is Asghar Farhadi, the guy who made Separation. He became super famous. It was the first Oscar win by Iranian actually, and he has like 3 Oscars at this point. And there's another one, I forgot his name. He's also very famous, the guy who passed away, and he has a movie called Under the Sour Cherry Tree. And it's about a guy who wants to kill himself, but he cannot kill himself. So he's looking around, wandering around the country, trying to find someone who will agree to kill him.
All you have to do is go to that hospital.
Yeah, basically. But it's a very fun movie.
Or beat your wife a little bit.
Yeah,
Just like,
no, it's but those movies that
Get
usually-
married, have a kid,
like the kind of indie movies that you said, if you want to watch it, you gotta get ready for like 2 hours of crying like a bitch and 2 months of depression.
Now here's my question. This because I've never watched a movie in Egypt. And like again, I never watched a movie in Iran, but I've been to India and I watched an Indian movie in India. And in India, they have like the action movies, they have the drama, blah, blah, and it all has the stereotypical dancing, whatever. But at one point in one movie, where the guys are on motorbikes and they jump from one building to the other, and when they jump,
I've seen that.
You know,
The Indian one.
And their bikes unite, like they
Transformers?
like
morphing time. You know,
like Power Rangers.
It's not even Power Rangers. It's just the bikes just connect to each other, and that's the whole thing. And they jump from a building, and the whole cinema where we were at erupt into like cheering and
overly emotional.
Yes. Now my question would that happen in Iranian like?
Actually, like it depends. First of all, nobody goes to cinemas. Now, besides if young couples who don't have a place to kiss and cuddle, nobody goes to cinemas basically these days. And the good movies, they don't get played in the cinemas because the government doesn't approve of them usually for cinemas. Base case scenario, they get approved for, they call it home cinema, which is you can sell it on
VHS.
You can sell it on CD legally or on streaming services. But you cannot put it in cinema. Like all of these famous movies that I talked about, they're not allowed. On top of that, there is a block list for a lot of actors that are not allowed to be shown. For example, we have an actor that played a movie with Kristen Stewart. Kristen Stewart? Yeah, the girl.
Twilight girl.
Yeah, the girl in Twilight.
Yeah, the no emotions
Camp
girl.
X-Ray. Camp X-Ray, something like this.
Okay.
And after that, he got a lot of backlash. That why did you play with this girl? And also she's a lesbian. You hold hands with her. You guys hugged while taking a picture. and it became like a whole problem for him. That's why he's in Hollywood now. He made a movie. His latest movie was with Ryan Reynolds. So like he makes movie there now. But for a
Okay.
lot of actors, that becomes the end of them. They make one good movie, and the government is like, "Fuck you, go sit home."
Ah.
Like even our best actor, one of our best actors is called Shahab Husseini. He left from Iran. He lives in California now, and he has like a studio there.
Yeah.
He's kind of basically not acting anymore, to be honest.
Okay.
Because
What about in Egypt? Have you ever been to a cinema in Egypt? Or
Yeah, of course.
Would that like
So-
happen? The idea of like this, being very emotionally attached to the movie.
I'm trying to remember. Because, okay, so for us, going to the cinema is usually saved for the last day of school, and like
Okay.
students,
yeah, basically the
everyone
school
like,
takes you.
so it's, no, it's not school.
Oh, you go to
Students
school.
go by groups, so this is the time where you have to be the best fucking son in the world. You
Uh-huh.
know, Dad, I need this 100 Egyptian dollar. Well, back then it was 100 Egyptian
Pounds.
dollar. Egyptian pounds. And we would go there, and it was like this whole trip. We would go to the movies, then go eat, and then with the money left, we can go to an arcade.
Yeah.
And the movie, I don't think there was, like, I wouldn't say cheering. There was no, I wouldn't say like, oh, cheering. Like the only time I saw cheering, it was actually in Russia, not in Egypt, and it was for the Spider-Man No Way Home movie.
Ah, okay.
And
When
they
the
were-
third.
When the Andrew Garfield and the
Okay.
Tom.
Spoilers alert.
I feel
Yeah.
old when people talk about new Spider-Man movies. Like,
You didn't see them?
I haven't watched any of them.
Ah.
I've only watched Tobey Maguire ones.
Yeah.
First one amazing, second one even better, third one what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. But this is something like when I always tell people like if you can get the chance to go to India, get vaccinated and go to India.
Yeah, you gotta get back to it. On top of that, come on, it's just like
But-
shit place.
No, it's not. Actually, it's really not. This is a really shitty stereotype I really dislike.
2 weeks ago,
I've
not
been-
2 weeks, like a month ago, the girl from Sweden, like the influencer traveling thingy,
Yeah.
she got raped in front of her husband by like 10 guys.
It had I don't know now. It had the
Like 1
highest
month ago.
rate of rape in India, and one thing I would say the thing is the problem is the regions where it's dirty. Yeah, you just go around the corner and it's a whole different world. You know.
It's like fucking Aladdin, you know. Like, that's what he did. He just took her, point the magic carpet to this next block in
Next
India.
blog, yeah. Next blog is where the British people live.
Basically, it's funny that you say about the British people. I think this happened in Egypt and this happened in Jordan when we had like heavy rain, unexpected rain.
Yeah.
Fucking hell! And like in Jordan, we had one bridge. When it rained, it became like the bridge is like you look at it. It's a very nice bridge. That's what we have. A very nice bridge. Petra and a very nice bridge. So all the water just subsided in one area. That's it. Like even the streets full. The problem in the street just appeared, and then you go like 10-minute car ride to a place where the British used to live in in the
Little
40s and 50s and all this. I was about to say irrigation system. The sewer system is so good. It wasn't changed since then. Can you imagine? I think this
Yeah,
also
okay.
happened in
It happened,
Alexandria. if I'm not mistaken.
But I'm not sure about the British areas.
I know
But
it was well British areas. Yeah. But
I remember like in Alexandria, it happens a lot where, like I remember one time the school buses couldn't
Sorry, I'm a
even.
bit of an uncultured swine. Alexandria is a city in.
It's like
isn't it? No, Cairo is the capital.
Cairo is
Cairo is
the
the capital, I
and
know
it's
that.
considered the second capital. So
Yeah.
back in the old days, it used to
Very
be.
white name for a.
Yeah, it was made by Alexander the Great.
And he was white.
Yeah,
The same as Jesus.
Same as Jesus, yes.
Yeah, but I remember like it happened like a couple of times where the bus couldn't even move because it flooded like really badly, and we had to walk
Oh, yeah.
home and stuff like that.
Yeah, we have shuttle homes.
You know, and like this like how do you call it? This disconnection of how the British area and how our areas where our people work.
Oh yeah, it's huge, but I don't know. Like, oh, weird thing actually. Yesterday I met an Indian guy, which I talked to, and I told him that I hate India. But we were talking about a lot of things, and I noticed something very interesting. I just made a realization there. We were talking about history, as always, and we came to the part about Russian history, and it was us and 4 Russians, and we started asking them about what their opinion is on these like historical events. And I just saw all of them silent. And then I realized, and I told them, bro, I've been here for 2 years. What I just noticed and realized is nobody cares less about Russian history like than Russian people. They do not give a, like most of them.
I
do not
disagree.
give a fuck.
I also
I
disagree.
very much disagree.
How do you think?
I know that like one of the things that I love about Russians is that so that they don't beat the shit out of me is that how cultured they are. Like if you look at enter the metro, go in the metro, be as bored as I am and broke as I am at that time with no internet, and you have to work on your laptop in the metro. You know,
Wi-Fi?
going on the circle line, just going around and working on the laptop. How many people are opening a book?
They are. I'm not saying they
You know,
don't read. They
that's
read,
one thing.
But
And the other thing about their history is they all know because their like so for us, the Jordanians, let's say, our history is the same since the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan was established in 45, 48, whatever. So nobody cares much about this. Yeah. Oh yeah, it was the king, and then the king's son, and then this king, and then that king. That's it. That's all our history. Russia's history was very turmoil. You know, from what's his name? Like Peter the Great to Ivan the Terrible. Well, I don't know if the Terrible was after, and then you go to Tsar Nikolai, and then you go to the Bolshevik Revolution. After the Bolshevik, like the Soviet Union and all of this, history affected them really, really much to the point where you see it in the metro, you know, and you know they understand their history really well.
no, I'm not saying they don't know it.
Yeah.
They know it because
They don't wanna talk
when
about
you
it.
talk to them, they say in school we basically just learn the history of Russia and America. That's what we learn in our history book. They say. They're not interested in talking about it at all. It's not anything interesting.
I will tell you something. I would ask a question. In your heads, do you feel that they're ashamed of their history or they're proud of their history?
I think they're
Really
proud of it.
ashamed. I mean, why they don't have any proud points in their history?
So you say that they're ashamed of their history.
Yeah.
I think they're proud.
Do you think they're proud?
The ones I talk to are usually proud.
Okay,
Of their-
personally, I think
No,
they
this is
should
just
be
like-
ashamed. I don't know if they are or not, but they should be ashamed.
It's not now. I'm not talking about like your personal opinion, but like from what you noticed from them. Like yesterday, you say you were sitting with these Russians and they were not talking about their history.
Yeah, they were just not interested. It's not. They were more interested in talking about where's the origin of falafel. That was more interesting for them.
It's
yeah,
Egypt.
yeah.
Then
Fun fact.
if the conversation was if the Bolshevik Revolution was good or bad in their opinion. First of all, one of them didn't know that the Bolshevik Revolution was the same revolution that they killed the Tsar and the communists came. So one of them didn't know that. And the other 2 or 3, they didn't give a fuck. They literally asked them like 5 times, which one do you think, what do you think about it?
This comes back to their. Are they like are the people you already knew, or they're like new?
Yeah,
people?
I knew them, and they're like,
okay.
one of them is highly educated, highly successful, and the other one is young, okay-ish, and the other one I
Maybe they approach it from the point of view of I can't change it, so why talk about it?
Yeah.
Maybe.
How can you learn?
Yeah, but one thing is.
But like, if you know the history, it doesn't mean you want to talk about it, you know. So so
I just
they
said
might
they're
have
not interested. Like I said, they don't care about it.
Yeah, but
They're
you're
not
saying
interested.
how would they learn? But they already learned it.
No, they learn it, they know it, but you just don't care about it. They're not interested in it. Like you meet the Iranian, all he wants to talk about is the history of the country. You know?
Because that's the only thing we have.
Exactly.
No future. Yeah,
That's
just
the only thing
history.
we have. We don't have even a present.
Yeah.
We only have past.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
actually we used to say this that we are the greatest empire, and we say no, we were the greatest empire.
The first E word was made in.
Yeah. Actually, when we were talking to the Indian guy, we came to the conclusion that Freddie Mercury was actually Iranian. This is a huge thing in
Wasn't
Iran.
he Iranian? He was like half
He was
Iranian.
a half-ass Iranian.
Yeah,
I
half-ass
thought
Iranian.
the Indian guy would say no, but he actually agreed. I was like, yeah, we know. We called him. He said we called him
Freddie Mercury was
Aryan. Oh, Aryan.
Queen.
He said from
her
Queen.
HIV.
Yes.
Yeah, HIV, mustache.
Yeah.
The mustache gives it away.
And one thing when we went to India. Is,
Sorry, just one thing I don't forget. It was very weird that he said we call the Iranians in India that came to India a long time ago, and they're Zoroastrians. We call them Aryans, like they're known as the Aryans. Like we have names. Like
Where are they? Where are they situated?
I think they're in Delhi.
In Delhi. Okay.
Yeah. There's Zoroastrians that moved to there, and then they connected to British people when the British were there fucking the Indians. I think they worked for them and worked with them, and his father was one of them that worked with the government of England, but at the same time.
When we were there, so like we went to Agra where Taj Mahal is and all this. It's like you can feel the history. You can feel how. Like
and the smell of shit also.
I'll get to the smell of garbage in a bit. One thing is, this is why I really want to visit Iran. I want to see the history of Iran there.
Yeah.
Because I saw it in India. One thing that was very interesting there when we were in Agra. So Agra is more of a Muslim place, a place where a lot of Muslims are, and it's very poor. You know, very poor. And we traveled 7 cities. One of the cities we went to is in the south. It's called Trivandrum. Or Tiruvandrum. And when we went there, it's such a clean city that I was like, this is not the same like
country.
This. Yeah, like what the fuck? And then I understood that area is the Christian area.
Oh yeah.
And
South of India, they're Christian.
Yes, and I was very like this is the Muslim place, and this is the. I was telling them, what's the reason of this? Now, from recent events, I don't know if you know what happened since Modi came to power. The anti-Islam
Islamic ones, yeah.
So it's like very, and it's kind of apparent for me because if you go to Agra again, rich history, and I think this city should be like clean, you know, because it's literally the place where all tourists go to. Amazing place. If you go to Taj Mahal, and people don't explain it to you when the what's his name, Shah Jahan, I think his name. When you go to Taj Mahal, there's an area. There's a spot, where you stand, and it splits the Taj Mahal into two pieces, 2 halves. These halves, if you look at it, what his order was, the first half, those halves should be identical. So if you plant a tree, let's say a peach tree to the left, there should be a peach tree right in front of it, not 1 centimeter away. Like all the measurements. Even
you want to be very symmetrical.
It's very symmetrical. Even if you look at the Taj Mahal itself, the pillars, what do you call it? The altar itself, because it was made as an altar for his wife. Yeah. It was made for his wife, and then it became like her grave spot. It splits the whole thing in half. Like it's identical, you know, and that's like such a nice thing. And I was thinking, but if you go right outside, there's so much dirt, garbage, like really garbage just on the whole side. I was like, what the fuck is this? Why don't you guys take care of this? And all the answer I got is, meh. Yeah.
You didn't care about their history, apparently. Just like Russians.
We don't take care of history that much either, because the government doesn't. We like people do actually, but the government
Yes.
Because that's the whole idea. They want to kill the nationalistic part, so they don't give a fuck about it. But like, if you come to my city, like, I can, in a difference of 1.5 hours with a car, you can see the oldest stone carving. It's not a stone carving, I don't know the exact name, but it's like on the stone they do like a picture of something with notes.
Yeah.
So the oldest one that exists is the same city, and also the most complete one in the whole world is again in the same city, and they are 4,000 years apart actually.
Yeah.
but like it's a very rich history. Like with the difference of 1 hour, you can go through like 4,000 years of difference in the same city. And we have a couple of cities that are huge, just like my city and Shiraz. And for the new one is Isfahan. Isfahan is 500-600 years ago and until now. But
Yeah.
it's amazing. The stuff you see there is like it's old, like Egypt old.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, that's why we fucked you guys too.
Hey,
How did you guys fuck them?
We attacked them twice. We had their countries for a while.
What, wait, was this in Khusra? What's his name? Kisra.
Kisra, yeah.
Okay.
Xerxes.
Xerxes, yeah. Xerxes was Kisra in Arabic, I think. No, he wasn't Kisra in Arabic. No,
Khashayar. Khashayar, I don't know what it is in.
Arabic.
I don't know. I know that in the time of Prophet Muhammad was Kisra.
That was Khosrow Parviz. Yeah. Khosrow.
Khusra, yeah.
Yeah, that's the guy who Prophet Muhammad sent him a letter to become a Muslim, and he
I think cut off the head of the messenger.
he cut off the head, and also through the moment he opened the message, he didn't read it because it started within the name of Allah.
Yeah.
And he said, "Who the fuck is this guy to not start with my name?"
Yeah.
So he just tore the letter apart and threw it out. And it was in my city, in the river. It's very famous. He threw it in that river, and this river is black. And these Islamic Shia shits, they say, "Oh yeah, the river wasn't black. It became black the moment the king threw the letter in the river." And actually, the reason that it's black is that there's a huge oil facility next to it, and it stinks like shit. You know?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you because you did stand up like twice, yeah.
I have us, yeah.
Yeah, but like, what did you feel about it? Any things you learned? Any things you liked? Like,
First of all, yeah, it's very hard. It's very hard. It's very hard. It's a lot of pressure on you.
So you mostly talked about the history of Iran.
History of Iran, bullshit stuff.
How you did like what? 3-4 minutes?
First time, 2-3 minutes, next time 4-5 minutes. And what I learned is pretty hard. It's pretty hard. You gotta work on it a lot, and it requires a lot of mental energy and not being like disappointed and stuff like that.
Oh no, disappointment
And
is important.
for me, it was just not worth it. For me personally, because what I was looking out of it was making people laugh and laughing with people.
Yeah.
And I can do that just sitting down with people and making funny remarks. I can laugh with people, and that's it. So the thing of, writing down jokes and thinking about it, it was just not worth it for me. And I don't know if I'm capable of writing jokes either. I don't know.
Well, you never can know if you don't try, but
Yeah, I mean, it just wasn't for me. I respected more after I tried it. I thought it's easier. Now I
This is
respect
how
it.
it starts with everybody. My friend, like your friend said you're funny. You should get on
exactly.
stage.
That's also.
Everybody told me, why don't you get on the stage? Why don't you get on the stage?
My friend told me, Abed, don't get on stage. One of my friends, a Jordanian guy, fucking amazing guy. He told me, Abed, don't get on stage. You're gonna be like, don't do it. And I remember the first time I fucking did it. I still have the picture on Facebook where the three of them, there's in one corner laughing at me. You know, and I remember everything in that. I was so shit, and they were there going.
But to be honest, I don't want to sound cocky, but I think if I write down jokes, or somebody writes down jokes for me, good jokes, I have facilities and the stuff needed to perform good. Because I'm quite like a
funny face.
You know,
I have a funny face.
I'll tell you what's the cute one. Yeah, teddy bear.
So and I also don't mind like communicating with people.
I'll tell you the difference between it and like sitting with your friends, as you said. Like I sit with people and I make them laugh, and then I'm on stage, for example.
I actually
and
told you once what I think.
it's same thing. It's one of the things is when you're with your friends and there's silence, you don't give a shit. You know, and there when there's silence, you know there is silence.
Yeah, it's obligation. It's obligation. When I'm sitting with you guys, I'm not obligated to make you motherfuckers laugh. If you want to laugh,
And
laugh.
this
If you
is
don't wanna laugh,
something
go
about
fuck yourself.
stand-up, which I always tell, like I tell like people, this is the thing. This is for me. This is a kind of a misconception. Is I need to make them laugh. It's like no, you don't. You need to say what you want to say, and if they laugh with you, yeah. If they don't, I'll find someone else who will watch me.
That's
Yeah.
the way of looking at it, but I don't know. For me, it was the pressure that I need to make him laugh.
Yeah. This is how it begins.
Yeah.
For me, it's also easier with your friends because you understand what makes them laugh, and cause I know like if I say like a Hitler joke, oh you're gonna giggle, but like if I say a Hitler joke in a room full of I don't know.
War veterans.
Well, what's the thing is, I love this about stand-up because it's a weird science, and I call it a fucking science because if you break it down to what science is, to the archetype of science, it is science. You know, from you formulate a hypothesis. After the hypothesis, you need to make you need to make an observation first, and then a hypothesis, and then you need to apply this hypothesis, you know, and then you need to check the results, and then you get the feedback, and then you go back. So this is science. The thing with this science is that there are rules to science, and you cannot change these rules. 1 + 1 = 5, according to Terence Howard. You know, I don't know if you saw this. Brilliant.
I know that 2 + 2 is 1 + 1 is 1.
3.
No, 1 + 1 is 1 by Kim Jong Un.
I know
Yeah.
1 + 1 is 3 by the H&M that was across my house.
So these rules cannot be broken in stand-up. Whatever rules are done, they can be broken, you know. So you don't have to follow. Like there is a formula, you can follow it, but even if you throw this formula out, like I had one of my friends. He was for me the greatest storyteller that's ever existed in the world.
Yeah.
Greatest storyteller. He has the delivery, he has the punchlines without him knowing what a punchline is, what the delivery is. And I performed with him in Arabic once. He was like writing. I was like, man, don't write. I took his paper and I threw it. I told him, get on stage. That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
You especially. And he got on stage and he was just talking to us basically, you know. But the thing with it is that for me, I was like, yo, where's the premise? Where's the punchline? Where's the, you know, there should be a tag here. He didn't, he was doing it by himself. You know, there was nothing, there was no rules to it. He didn't understand what it was and all of this shit. So there's no, this is one of the things, because when you're friends, there are no rules. And when you're on stage as a beginner performer, you think there are rules that should be followed. And it's good to follow them until one point, until you find, oh, this is how I talk. This is great.
Yeah, until you find your style and
Yeah,
you
you
become
know.
comfortable with it.
And one thing about deliveries, me and Omar, we were talking about this before, is how it's delivery. There's one performer who performed with us on Wednesday, and she was reading from her phone. And sadly, she's reading from her phone, so her rhythm in speaking, it was off, you know? So she was monotone.
Yeah.
She wasn't like changing her voice to the point like Omar, when he delivers his
Yeah.
jokes, you know, at one point, boom, is gonna happen. You know it. And it's a very nice thing. I like it because I don't know if he does it on purpose, but you are tranced by what he's saying. Yeah, it's, you're tranced by that because it's like you're listening to a song. You know, you're listening to a
Shitty song.
Hey.
his role model is Britney Spears. Don't
I am toxic.
you know? And so yeah, in a song you're like with this beat, and you have to do this beat with your voice. You know, and this is what like the difference is it. But anyway, sorry. we
Yeah.
interrupted you.
Anyways, should we go to the news?
Yeah,
Go
you
to the
said-
news.
Yeah, actually,
Go
I
to-
was thinking about like you said like Reddit and stuff. You want to?
Yeah. We have news. We have 2 news pieces. We want your opinion on. Well,
Amazing.
Sky.
oh,
Okay, this is the fire breathers,
fire breathers.
and the second one is the Virgin.
Virgin Airlines.
Yeah. I had to say airlines.
Yeah, airlines. I was like, oh, my favorite topic. Go fuck.
So, Omar,
Okay. So Mexico fire. Wait.
fire breather fights off marauding mariachis in turf war over tips. Can you imagine?
So a guy who is a fire breather
Yeah.
fought the mariachi band.
No, so I read the whole thing and I saw the video. What happened was this.
Did he shoot fire? That's my question. Like a
This is
dragon.
what
From
didn't
where?
Happen. He was performing, and then the mariachi band comes and attacked him. And
With music.
yeah,
And you know what he was? He's probably, you know, like this guitar hero thing.
Yeah. Very aggressive music notes.
they attacked him first, and then he started shooting fire on them. Actually,
You really started.
Yeah.
That's some
And
Lord of the Rings.
fun
shit.
fact: he's the only one who's in the hospital now.
The fire breather.
Yeah.
Is it related to the fight or he was just
No, because they attack. So it was one guy. He puts him in the chokehold,
okay? And the
And-
fire stayed in. So.
and then the three other guys, they start kicking the shit out of him.
Oh, amazing.
One guy was singing, "Don't start the fire." Don't start the fire.
It's ironic because they
Jesus Christ.
the mariachi band attacked him and it backfired on them.
Backfired. Why is this the most Mexican story I've ever read?
It is Mexican. It
Yeah,
is.
no.
Oh, I didn't know.
It's a mariachi band and a
Yeah,
fire
but-
breather.
Fun fact: this is the funniest thing actually. I read. They were standing next to a taco truck called Inferno, and ironically, the taco truck is the one that made the most tips.
You just need like a short midget Indian coming in with a guitar starting
And probably there was an Arab guy with a Nokia phone going,
Yeah,
"Please record,
yeah,
please
10,000
record."
Oh my
Oh,
god.
God,
Oh, God. I didn't-
what would be the equivalent of that happening in Russia, like in our countries?
Oh.
In our country, so it could be what could it could be?
Suicide bombers, like
In Russia, it would be one
My
guy,
territory.
like one big bodybuilder comes out, and then from behind him comes out a smaller bodybuilder, and then a smaller bodybuilder,
I don't know.
and they all like jump you.
And the guy who they're beating up is the guy who's just drinking vodka.
He's like, I just asked for 10 rubles, man. Wait.
Actually, they drink more beer than vodka. That's weird for me. When I first came here, I thought like everybody's drinking vodka 24/7. It was mostly beer.
I think in our countries, what would be the equivalent is a shawarma stand and a kebab stand.
Oh yeah,
Would be and
Like he makes a cut.
and probably like a guy who just made, because this happens in Jordan. I don't know if it's in Iran. I'm not sure if it's in Egypt. So you have guys who have the shishas in the back of their car, and they have everything to make a shisha. So
Oh, yeah,
they
yeah.
park in clearings,
Oh, yeah.
and when there are guys, they go like, "Hey, we have shisha if you want." So that could be the equivalent. A shawarma and the kalyan stand fighting
Yeah,
over it.
probably. No, in my city, it would be a guy who actually they work with each other. Weirdly enough, we have a park in Iran, in my city, and it's very famous for young brothers. You know, like young guys who have nothing to do, half-assed thugs. You know, who go there and they go to smoke shisha, and also to eat barbecued corn. I don't know how to say, like corn made on fire.
Yeah.
And but the thing is, they actually coexist, you know, with each other.
Yeah.
So I don't think they would fight. Usually fights are just for no reason. It's usually like, I want to sit here. No, I want to sit here. Okay, let's fight. Or parking spots. Literally 2-3 years ago, in the same park, two guys had a fight over a parking spot, and one of them brought out like a shotgun and fired a shot in the sky. And the other guy said, "Oh, you think I'm afraid? I'm not afraid." And so the guy was like, "All right, then." He just shot them after that. He was like, "I think you're afraid now."
There was once when we were, like, we parked our cars inside like a garage. Пожалуйста, угли. Спасибо. And one guy parks his car and he closes the garage. And at that time we had like so many cars who wanted to leave and we couldn't because he had his car parked. He didn't even put his number. He just disappeared for 2 hours. So a few of my friends, what they decided to do is they actually, I'm not proud of this story. they how do you call it?
Puncture the tire.
Punctured the tires, and they punctured one tire, and the other tire they removed the whole fucking tire.
Nice.
Yeah.
Out of the box.
And the
thinking.
guy comes in and he sees, like, again, my friends fucking huge. They were all standing right next to the car. Some guys were
You
sitting.
live with giants. Like every student has
Here's
a
the
huge
thing.
friend that
I
walks in.
say. So in school, I was a bully. Yeah, I was a bully because my friends were like 3 or 4 years older than me. And after like I got into university, my friends became 10 years older than me. Yeah, that's how they grew. They grew 6 years older instantly. You know, they were all my friends were very much older than me. And so they would sit on the hood of the car, and you know that's bad thing because the hood then touches the engine and it fucks it up. And they're just waiting for him to say something. And I remember because they were next to the tire. They had the tire like, yeah, say something, please. And he, yeah, please, yeah. They were like, yeah, call the police. We're gonna show you what the fuck is gonna happen. And what he did, I'll never forget. He just like put his head down, and my friends felt sorry, which doesn't happen often. So they put like they tie back and they changed his tire. And here's the thing. And they were standing next to it. It was so freaky for the guy because he was like, you know, like sitting like between mountains, you know, like what the fuck are you doing here?
Like how did they change? Like does one of the giants lift the
No,
car?
I don't know how they call it. The car jack? No,
Yeah,
Muhammad is a big guy. You know, he brings it up.
his name is Yazan. But yeah. But the thing is that, and they looked at him and they said, "You didn't see that there's your closing garage," and his response was, "Oh, this is a garage." This is a phrase that he said. And here's the thing: there was a sign as big as a building that said, "Garage, don't park here." Yeah, and the moment he said it, that's when they felt sorry for him, because then they knew, oh, maybe he is on the spectrum. And like we all looked at it, like, do they still make people like you? Are you still like in this world with us?
I think it's left to care about.
Oh man, like when I was telling them, they was like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? Like they were like, one of them was deciding like, man, if he opens his mouth, I'm really gonna go to prison today. You know, he'll go for one day. He was a big family. But yeah, next piece of news.
Oh, actually, wait,
Yeah.
before we go, actually, because just a question I thought of. When I was googling the news, the biggest thing that would always pop up is like a zebra escapes from the zoo, a fucking lion escapes from the zoo. My question is, which animal would you be most afraid of if it escapes from the zoo?
Rhino or a hippo.
Why?
Because they're very strong and also dumb. Like a lion, he's not gonna walk around and kill people, you know, unless if it's India, you know. No, if they feel stressed, they're gonna run away. You know, they're trying to hide. But a rhino or like a hippo, they're just gonna ram everything because they're not afraid of shit. Nothing can do anything to them.
Yeah, everybody watched Madagascar. No one would be afraid of a lion, yeah?
Yeah, and also, or maybe an elephant. They are the craziest ones.
I think elephant.
You
If I would go with I would be afraid. Like I would meet it down the street. Definitely an elephant for me.
The
And
most animals killed by an animal, if I'm not
Hippopotamus.
mistaken, is a hippo. Yeah.
The most dangerous
The
animal.
most
the
dangerous
hippo.
animal.
Oh, actually, it's mosquitoes, I thought.
I mean, mosquitoes are not animals, are they?
Well, they're insects. Well, but like, no, they are an animal. Insects are an animal.
I mean, they're not
Malaria,
killed by the.
But
It's
when
not
did
by
that
the
happen?
insect. It's not by the insect. It's by the
The
disease that the
diseases.
insect has.
Ah,
I mean, by that like theory, you can go like a snake doesn't kill people. The venom that the snake
And
has.
then by that same, a monkey has killed so many gay people, you know?
So in Africans too, you know.
And the bat fucked the whole world.
Wait,
For me, it's actually a monkey. For me, it's actually a monkey because like I've seen the Planet of the Apes stuff. This is
Oh,
one,
man.
and two, I've like because I remember reading this one time was like something in India happened where like I think one guy killed a monkey, and now monkeys were out for revenge and they were killing Indian babies. Like they were throwing them from the roof and shit.
Maybe
Like,
they just thought it's a different tribe, man. It's kind of hard to tell, you know. They're quite small, same color.
Hey, as Bear, Brown, you're one of us.
Actually, I read the news a couple of months ago about the problem of rising incidents in Indian Airlines that people piss or take a shit while in the airplane and not in the toilet, you know? And this was a huge, this is a huge problem they're dealing with right now because it's rising. And the article was about...
It is rising, yeah, right.
The article was about an Indian guy that was going from London to India, and he literally just took off his pants and pissed and took a shit on the floor of the plane.
Wow.
And
That sounds like my Mondays.
yeah, and then a woman next to him started complaining, so he started peeing on the woman.
Speaking of flying,
And the news
My territory.
and the guy who was like doing a commentary on this news piece, he said, well, you can take a man out of India, but you can never... And then it was like, actually, yeah, India did come out of the guy. India was lying on the fucking floor of the plane.
yeah. So yes, actually speaking of flying,
There's when we when we were in India, we had like to take a short flight. I remember when we reached the other airport, we went out. So you know, there's usually a car, there's usually something. Usually walk like a little bit to whatever it is, like to a bus and the car. I mean the bus. In India, we had to walk to the fucking airport.
oh,
And I'm walking and I hear a plane. I was like, what the fuck, man?
This doesn't sound safe.
Yeah, there's something wrong here.
Even for
bro.
Indian standards. I think safety is not their biggest concern.
Yeah.
They have a lot to...
And if you've ever driven in India, if you've ever even ridden a tuk-tuk in India, you will know that what is safety, baby hurt me. That's what they have.
Yeah,
You know?
because like, I mean, they have a lot to like replace. you know?
But I'll give this to them. When we were there's one girl who was with us who was very, very sick. She got, we were on the train. She got really, really sick because of like the weather suddenly changed there. This was the end of 2013. And she got fucking sick. And there's one guy with us on the train who told us you can come to my place. And me and my friend look at each other and go, well, I guess we're gonna have a story when we come back.
Yeah. How
Hey,
did you
guys.
get AIDS?
And I will never forget that we went to his house. His family was there, all of his family, in like a 2-bedroom apartment. I mean, all of it, if you know what I mean, you know?
Yeah, there was like an Indian god there too, you know?
They were watching the Indian gods fight.
Yeah, yeah.
the one with the guy, an Arab guy with a Nokia phone. maybe.
Yeah, that's nothing in India. That's like 100 views for us here. You know? And what? And they took care for. They called her like a doctor. They brought her medicine and everything. And I was like, man.
Question. First of all, weirdly enough, why there was no doctors in a huge Indian family? That's my first question. Second of all, is it the same woman that you said when you were walking on the
No.
street at night you were afraid?
Oh, it was her and another 2 women. It wasn't a street at night. So the story of it, we celebrated, and I used that term in the most not that term way possible.
Yeah.
New Year's. And I didn't know when my friend who's Indian warned me. He told me, you have 3 really, really beautiful women with you. And this is not often where we're here, like you are right now. Don't go out with them. And if you're gonna go out, like be near to where you live. And I was like, that defeats the purpose, because we give them a bed. You know? No, if they're gonna, fuck us, I want it to be as uncomfortable as possible.
Yeah.
You know? So we're celebrating New Year and celebrating again. And after it, like the clock hit 12, and all Indians went fucking crazy. They were, because it's frowned upon to be drunk, but it's okay to be drunk on New Year's. And I am not joking when I tell you, like, more than 200, 300 people, guys. Guys in their 20s, even.
Guys, yeah.
Yeah, guys. In their like early 20s, late teens, They were just like drooling over these girls, and my friend was telling me, look at him and say, "Fuck!" And I remember we were walking, and we couldn't find any tuk-tuk. We couldn't find any place, like to like take us home. And all the guys, you can see their eyes. You can see the drool because I've had these eyes when I was 10, Bilal. You know.
First time I
You
saw
know?
my grandma.
Yeah, through the television, you know. It was a picture, like it was just a moving picture. That's all.
It
And
was Queen Elizabeth.
I was like, whoa, look at her fingers. You know? And what happened is I was like, fuck, man. And they were just approaching us like aggressively. And what I did, because there is still one part of them, which is the kind part,
Yeah.
you know?
You rape him with kindness.
That's exactly what I did. You know? And they enjoyed it.
They
So,
forced.
so I would go to them and I would shake their hands.
Yeah.
I was like, hi, I'm from Jordan. Oh,
You were literally the guy who said, "Is this a parking at the mall?" You didn't know what the fuck to do, just trying to do something.
Literally, I was
Save the
telling my
situation.
friends, you know, like, leave, go. I'm shaking.
Abort.
I'm having their hands busy. Go.
Well, actually, I saw a news article about this celebration in India that they throw colors at each other and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the celebration is called, but yeah.
It was a couple months ago, actually.
Yeah.
Wally, something like that. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. And
Wally.
I think
Eva.
Eva. So there was videos too that so a lot of white people that are bored out of their mind have nothing else to do. They decide to go there and be in the celebration. And when I say they were being groped, it's the very very loosely. I'm using the term groped. Like literally, they were tearing their clothes off in the context of oh yeah, we're playing, you know. And literally, like there was a girl, and she was blonde. She looked German or something. She was just crying, trying to get away, while everybody was like touching her tits and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was like, and literally like, there's a YouTuber I really like, and he was commentating on it, and also he said like, literally bring me one reason to go to India, and that's why, to be honest, if you're from India, you like it, and you like it. But I don't get it. It's a lot of dangers there.
How much? You know what it is? It's maybe it's the freedom of it. You know, it's the like not the freedom. Like you can feel that the guys are suppressed. Their desires. Sorry, they're very suppressed.
Yeah.
You know, and it comes like at the moment it's you let that spark out, it becomes a raging, horny fire. You know that it has to be directed somewhere. Like what? So I don't know now, but I remember porn addicts.
Yeah.
You know, porn addiction was one of the highest.
I think it's highest. I know like the most people who go to porn sites are Arabs and some Indians.
And Indians, but
Porn
Indians probably
addiction,
because of
actually,
the
I saw
number.
this, that porn addiction was highest in India, actually.
In India,
It was like a couple of years ago.
you know, and rape was like this
Rape
was
was
the
highest.
highest rape, and
They're lowest in divorce. 0.
Yeah.
Because divorce is kind of illegal, basically. So.
yeah. Oh, boo. Who pays? I don't know their laws about divorce. All I know is the stereotypical like a woman pays for the.
It's
for
just
the wedding.
weird. And the thing is, like, when I meet people, like cultures, that there's a huge problem in. Like, for example, I was talking to a guy who said, oh yeah, I love the culture of Korea. But the problem they have is like, oh yeah, they have these problems and they have a very high rate of suicide. And I said, so basically you just proved that their culture is shitty. Because, like, I don't care, yeah, maybe they have some good stuff, but in general, if something is very huge in a country, without financial problems, it means the culture is driving people crazy. Same thing about Asian culture. Like they say Asian culture is amazing. No, it's horrible.
But you know
because
why?
There's a lot of pressure.
Like not only that. Well, yeah, it is. That's the keyword, pressure. Like
that's why the culture is shit then.
The Japanese work culture is insane.
Yeah.
But
You know,
what are you
like-
looking for? Are you looking for a robot or are you looking for a human?
That's so in Japan, what they know is literally like. Have you ever seen a Japanese like apartment? You can't fit in it. Your hair is gonna be like in the ceiling, basically. You know, and
Efficiency is the word.
yeah, and like these small compartments, they already drive you into depression, you know, that you're living. And how much work? I'll give you an example. A game, a director of the game, his name is Naoki Yoshida. Like for example, smoking in Japan is insane.
Yeah.
And this guy, there were people talking like there was a festival where he was there, and they were saying how much he smoked. Like he smoked so much that the ashtray, like the you know where this the cigarettes in it were his. Like how much it was his cigarettes.
Yeah.
All in one day.
Yeah. Like how much he,
Yeah,
he,
I
he
100 know
smoked.
this because I met a couple of Japanese people in my city, and they were asking for a place to buy certain type of cigarettes, and I took them there. They bought cigarettes. Actually, they had like cigarettes from Japan in that store.
Yeah.
They could buy. They were very happy about it. And I saw something very weird. They would smoke. They would inhale the smoke. Then they would start talking, and the smoke wasn't coming out. They were
Yes.
keeping it for like 20 seconds. Then the smoke would
Yeah,
come out. I
yeah.
was like, what the fuck? What are you
You
doing,
know
bro?
how much relaxed.
There could be a fire breather in
Also,
The fire breather was in them. There's a little bit Mexican guy in the Japanese.
you know, and one mariachi going with sad music. You're gonna kill yourself. You know? And I think that's how mariachi music sounds in my head. But so how much they work,
Yeah.
that affects them, and the culture of shame.
Yeah.
You know, if
Yeah.
like this director, when they couldn't put out a game, like so it was scheduled for November, they had to delay it by 2 weeks. 2 weeks, which is nothing. What he did, he went live, he was crying, and this is not because like everybody talks about this, that you can read about him how he saved the company. You know, there was a game that was put out. The game failed. They brought him. He was like he made the game, remade it, and made it so much better on the code. And you're a programmer, on what we could call now is a spaghetti code. You know what's a spaghetti code?
I heard this term before.
So spaghetti code is
Forgot it.
like the program that you're building is based on old code. So if you change something, it could change in the old code, and it fucks up the whole program. And he was built the whole game, made it so much more, made like 20 million subscribers in like a few years, just because of how he did it. You know, but the amount of work that he had to put in was fucking insane. So he comes out like he saved the game. Basically, he's the king. He fucked up. He fucked up once, and usually in gaming, in the game industry, when someone fucks up, everybody shits on them. Directors, like gaming journalists. He was the one that everybody gave a pass, and he saved the company Square Enix to the point where the game that he saved was making half of the company's profits by itself.
What was the game?
Final Fantasy 14. You know.
The latest one?
No.
It's a massive multiplayer online game, but the idea is that he saved it, and he still came out crying, saying, "I apologize for delaying the game 2 weeks."
Yeah.
You know?
But no,
I remember I also saw a similar thing. It was like a big ice cream company in Japan, and they were raising the prices like
1% or something.
10 cents. It was basically like 10 cents. Like the whole company had to film a video apologizing.
Yeah, but no, see, I'm not saying I
No.
don't respect it. I respect it. But the thing is, what are we looking for here? Are we looking for workforce that's like a robot, has no emotions,
what they were
works
looking
until
for.
they die? So yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So that's why I say the culture is not good. I don't get it. Why
No,
people
every
say,
culture has its
Well,
I
problems.
like Asian
Again,
culture. It's not just
It's what you look at. It's what you look at. Exactly. You know, I love that this guy's voice is loud, but we're louder already. Sorry, we're like recording in a shisha place, and you know, random people. If you haven't figured this out already. So what's the idea that what exactly are you looking at the culture? For example, rate of suicide. Why is there a rate of suicide? I know, for example, in the Scandinavian countries, the rate of birth is minus something. So the rate of suicide is more than the rate of birth.
Of death in general, yeah.
Yes, the rate of is more of death is more than the rate of birth, and there is a problem. Why is this happen? What I understand from my point of view, for example, from where we're from, we don't have time to think about this shit.
Yeah.
You know, for them, they have time.
Yeah, I mean, for them, it's, I think, like, I call it usually first world problems.
Yes, yeah.
Jesus Christ, go and get a life, man. You know, like, the stuff that you're sad about are the stuff that people are trying to get.
Yeah.
Like, the thing that is making you depressed to commit suicide is things that people are killing themselves to achieve.
To achieve, yes.
But
No, but the problem is this, because you're saying, oh, it has a lot of problems, but every culture has a lot of problems. You need to look at
yeah,
the
but
positive.
like in general, if I want to put them, I don't rank them as like a very high culture. To me. Personally, I do not want to be raised in that culture. I don't want to be born there, and also the high amount of racism.
Like you know, for example, in South Korea, this is gonna be a gaming podcast right now. In South Korea, like you know the gacha games,
Yeah.
Oh,
the concept of a gacha game, yeah. So it's like you pay, basically you pay to play, basically, and you pay to have better character. Where we're from, in the US, in wherever, even if they have the money, they're like, no, this is bad. In Korea, they don't mind. In Korea, for example, in South Korea, not North Korea. North Korea, I don't know if they even have a game. The only game they have is, you know, bow down. If you don't bow down, it's game fucking
they have a
over.
gacha game,
The
which is
two-step bow down, you know.
the only gacha game they have is when they vote for a president, they're like, gotcha. It's the same guy.
and what happens in South Korea is literally they don't have a problem in playing 12 hours. You know, they have no problem in that. They have no problem in paying, even if they don't have the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like look at that documentary, Squid Games. No, never mind.
Just wanted the new Fortnite skin, the
It's
guy.
quite accurate. It's official. I've done my research. That's what I know about Korean culture, actually. If you don't know.
Actually, if you watch that series, it has the meta commentary of what a Korean culture is.
Ah.
Yeah.
I
Of
don't know.
the depths, the thing of everything.
It just doesn't appeal to me. Like a lot of cultures, to be honest with you, like I see them, like it just doesn't like, especially like a lot of Asian cultures, because racism is very high, worth of people is very low, and it's like it's a weird thing. You're just worth as much as you do.
Do you think this is because, even in our culture, and I say this about Russia, I'll like talk about it later. Do you think it's because of colonization? That you said a very like key phrase, which is their self-worth is low. Do you think it's because of colonization this happened?
I mean, Korea, I'm not the biggest on their history, but I think besides Japan and one time China, they weren't that occupied.
Well, China was occupied by Japan. If you don't know this,
Yeah, I know.
Japan was basically built, two nuclear bombs, and they
I
had
know
military
this.
bases.
Yeah, but I know they weren't very they were very colonized like Korea. Maybe like some African countries or like some Middle Eastern countries.
No,
yeah.
like Asian countries were all like, the British, they were all over certain areas in Asia.
To be honest, there could be a connection there. I could see maybe. I'm not sure.
Okay,
I haven't done enough research or thinking about it.
okay. So speaking about airplanes,
Oh wow, we flew back to the
Full
topic.
segment.
Yeah. So man who
By
ran
Shadow Legends.
the man who ran through Virgin Australia plane naked and knocked over attendant arrested. This is the
man
headline.
ran through Virgin Australia plane naked.
I'm gonna assume the guy was Australian.
Fun fact. They say he might be Indian because he was.
Goes with the theme of the.
He was like,
He was like, I shit in India, I shit there, now it's
It's
split.
time to run.
I shit on the Virgin.
I mean, you wouldn't be very. That's quite a Japanese thing to do, actually.
Ah.
But oh, they're huge on shitting posts.
Do you have this weird thing is when you go to a place, you have to piss inside, like to check its toilet and piss inside.
Oh, to see?
Yeah.
I don't
Like to
personally.
put your mark,
But
basically.
I live with a person that like she has to take a piss wherever she goes. She has to mark her territory.
Yeah.
You know.
So basically, this guy.
Yeah. I mean, it's a
Marking his
normal
own.
Australian activity. You know,
Yeah.
like if the guy is Australian, I don't think he should be charged
He was
or
like,
anything. to be
no,
honest with
he's
you.
like, Or I think they were just flying away, and a bunch of non-Australians is like, "You didn't see the snake? Let me show you."
I think his snake was out there. This was naked. So.
Yeah.
And,
Oh,
like,
man.
The question I have is: so this guy didn't get naked on the plane, okay?
Here's the thing. No. I read the thingy, which was the thing we were supposed to do, but it says we don't know when he took his clothes off. Where he took his clothes.
That's my question because like was like a flight attendant just looking at this motherfucker getting naked and she didn't know if he should say something or not.
I just imagine like at the when he was they were like telling him to take off his belt. They were just looking at him. He was taking off the belt. or like he wanted to bring like a bottle of perfume with him on the plane and like move it away. He's like no, okay. So he put the perfume all over his clothes, so he had to take it off.
Yeah, I think one of the possibilities is that maybe the guy had like very severe diarrhea in the toilet and shit himself. And he had the opportunity of coming out and being ashamed of shitting himself.
Yeah, but you can wear your jeans. You just
Maybe he shitted so much. You haven't shitted yourself, then, my friend.
If you haven't, I can tell you all about it.
So I think he had the opportunity. He had two choices: like either come out and be like pulled my pants, you know, or he could be like, I can play a crazy guy, and nobody bothers a crazy guy, you know. He just ran out.
for me, it would have been weird if they played a video where, in case of a random naked guy on the plane, put the masks.
That's probably like listen behind every
Keep the kids away from his snake.
Please put your sleeping masks
You know
on.
what's so funny? Like all these, when they do these like warnings or whatever, there's always a story before it. So this is probably like now when you get on the plane, you know, you're gonna hear. In case of a naked guy, who's like, I know why they have this.
The naked guy running, the flight attendant is like women and children first.
It's like you know in military when you do a mistake. They punish everybody.
Everybody, yeah.
This is like they say now they're gonna punish everybody
Yeah.
in the world just because of this guy.
For me, the funny part about reading the thing was, it says he allegedly was naked, and I'm like, was he naked or was it like?
What is allegedly naked?
It's like we don't want to say he was naked until the court says he was naked, you know.
Like O.J. Simpson, he was allegedly.
Allegedly.
You know.
The funny shit about O.J. Simpson is
He's like, I didn't do it, people.
so
Give me the glove.
yeah, in the
It does not
Judeo
fit.
court, in the Judeo court, he was not guilty, but on the civil law, he was guilty of murder. That's the fucked up shit. Like he had to pay money. He had to like on the civil court, he became guilty, but he didn't have to go to
You
jail.
want to know something about like loopholes and shit? But this is not to O.J. Simpson. There's a guy. He had problem with insurance in England. He had a problem with the
Oh,
insurance.
Indian.
No, actually Egyptian.
Oh.
Very smart fucking
Shout out.
Egyptian.
Egypt.
Yeah,
To
man.
my
Man,
scammers.
to be honest, the best right now for me, the best YouTubers for the last 10 years are Egyptian. All of them, the best YouTubers. It's only two guys, but so what he did is like they sent him an email about his insurance. So what he did, he took that the email that they sent him and he put it in ChatGPT and he just asked, how do I answer them? But like make me win basically. Like I'm just
Yeah.
paraphrasing. And ChatGPT sent him the answer. He just copy pasted the answer, and they sent him another. And anyways, last but not like the end of it, he got extra on his insurance. Sorry, they how do you call it?
Lowered his
Reduced.
insurance.
Reduced his like the rate of he pays for his insurance and increased it also like what it covers.
The maximum.
Just because of like.
Hell.
This guy probably went to ChatGPT. He was like, "How can I become famous?" And ChatGPT is like, "Listen, here's what you have to do."
I have an idea cooking for a while.
It would have been funny if he was on the airplane and doing the helicopter.
Stuff.
I think it's
It's
actually
not taking off now. It is.
fun fact. I think he might be. I think the guy might be Canadian. It was just Drake masturbating.
Drake.
Yeah.
I don't know this.
Airplane joke of I just know there's a video of
Of him,
Drake's
yeah.
dick airplane. That's as far as I know.
Yeah. He was caught. He was masturbating. That's fine. Yeah.
and they say like his dick was a dick, you know.
Isn't he already famous?
Yeah, he was famous.
So it wasn't like a publicity stunt.
It
or
was
do
not-
you guys?
No, it got leaked.
They say it got leaked, but then
I think
Kendrick.
he was like flexing on the size of his dick.
I think because you know, like Kendrick Lamar would
He was a
like
monster.
Kendrick Lamar because he was Drake and Kendrick Lamar had beef. They were doing like.
Oh, this is the one where like recently Kendrick Lamar like really obliterated.
Yeah.
From a distance, it looked like a mating dance of two wild animals. You know, when you got closer, it was two African people. You told me not to say the word. You can't say. I cannot say anything about it.
Yeah. I said don't get me cancelled. Yeah. No, but Kendrick Lamar had this idea where he
The views of Omid are not support. What do you call it? Not endorsed by Blowing Off Steam podcast.
Yeah.
If you get offended, there's another podcast with the same name. Sue them.
Okay, yeah, that would be nice. Cancel Blowing Off Steam and then we can get the name legally. Thank Amit. Yeah. Go all out, man.
No, don't.
I've been really thinking, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Basically, what on one of the diss tracks, Kendrick Lamar said that he purposefully leaked the video to like prove his agenda or something like that.
His gender.
Agenda.
Oh, I thought his gender.
Revealed his gender. He's a dude. Actually, there was like a conspiracy for a while that Drake like fucks with two condoms and he puts hot sauce.
No, it's not a conspiracy. It's true.
It
what-
sounds
what-
stupid.
What? No, like one lady, because what happens was he had sex with this girl, and she wanted to take his sperm and impregnate herself, because great money, I assume.
Yeah,
And
very female activities.
Her pussy got burnt, because hot sauce, and she was trying to sue Drake for what she did, which I think she lost the lawsuit.
I hope she did, but yeah, I heard like he put like two condoms with hot sauce in between, and also for if it bursts, like one of the condoms like breaks, either him or the girl is gonna burn, so they find out.
Nice.
I mean, the child alimony from Drake is gonna be substantial, you know. Like,
Of course, man.
I
Yeah.
mean, I'm willing to try to get pregnant.
Okay, so here's a question from like our
Ask Credit segment.
Ask Reddit segment. Here's a question that, what would be your funeral song?
Oh, funeral song. Jesus Christ.
For me, it's
Jesus Christ, Jesus Superstar, yeah.
for me it's Roddy Ricch box, out of the box or something like that.
And everybody's waiting for it.
I don't know, Britney Spears one more time.
And with you, it will be like there's a spring that pull, like the moment the song starts, just like catapults your body out.
No, it's gonna be the song Girl, You're Gonna Become a Woman Soon. You wanna play that one, you know?
For your daughter.
I don't know, man. It just sounds like a song that should not be played at a funeral. No, another one Bust the Dust. That's the best one.
What would be yours?
I'm thinking about it, man. I don't know. I actually got this question because I have no idea what my answer would be. I need to really think about it. It's so funny.
Another one Bust the
I
Dust.
love the ideas like after the ball and then Omar comes out. And there's like a recorded message behind it, like one of his last jokes.
Yeah. Or you can do like the Michael Jackson Thriller, and they can hook you up to something so you can do the one last dance.
I'll be like, oh, probably Michael Jackson. I would have my last joke and then Michael Jackson going, yeah.
Oh yeah, or they can put you in a white coffin and be like, yeah, this is the first time he came in a white box. You know, so.
I don't remember the Titanic song.
Every
What
night
was
in
it?
my
Celine
dream.
Dion.
Yeah,
What-
every night in my, you sound like this, I see.
I feel you. It's just have this, and just my body like this, you know. And the picture of Leonardo DiCaprio behind me.
It's like a cheap.
What? He's 19 years older than me, probably. So that would fit it, you know. DiCaprio.
Yeah. DiCaprio is 19 years older than him, and his girlfriend is 19 years younger than him.
Yeah. Actually, like, what do you think about the DiCaprio movie? What do you think about it? The hooking up with like 20-year-olds or like a 50-year-old?
I think it's normal. Well,
I mean, at his level, everything is normal.
how's 19 years older? You get what I'm saying? So if you're 20, if you're 30, if you're 35,
Yeah. Like for example, if you're like 22 and you're dating somebody 19 years younger than you, like you're either the revolutionary prophet of Iran or Japanese, but I don't know.
For me, the weird part is not him. Like it's weird that he breaks up with them when they're 26 or 25.
25.
Yeah, 25 or whatever.
I mean, I get it, to be honest with you. Like, you want them as fresh as they come, but you don't want to be illegal. So.
But he was on Epstein list, yeah.
everybody was. Man,
No, I don't think he was.
bet
Oh,
you.
he was?
I bet you.
You
I
can pull
bet
it
you
up.
Everybody was on the Epstein list because there are a lot of blacked out names. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I know the most shocking one for me was Tom Hanks.
Really? That's
Yeah.
the least shocking one.
No,
for
the
me.
most shocking one for me was
The
Tom
most,
Hanks.
it would be very shocking for me if it was like Bill Burr.
For me,
No, Tom Hanks was on the list.
yeah.
Bill Burr wasn't on the
I know, but it would be for me. It would show
Yeah.
no, Tom Hanks could just play autistic and be like, I'm gonna run.
Like, how do you think I got the cancer role, motherfuckers?
Yeah, like
in
for example,
Philadelphia.
like the crippled guy. What was his name?
Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, Stephen Hawking. I was not like surprised.
I don't stand by what Stephen Hawking did.
Him or like even Bill Gates. Like,
Bill Gates was on it?
yeah, Bill Gates was one of the first ones that got out. He was on the list. Like it's acceptable, man. The guy does a lot of charity.
What?
A person who does a lot of charity is hiding some shit.
Here at I mean accept. I thought you accept like you're cool with him doing that.
No. I'm just saying. a
Expected,
person,
not acceptable.
Like, yeah,
I'm sorry, please.
acceptable.
No, expectable.
No. It's, what do you mean?
Expectable.
Oh, you expected it from.
Yeah. Not,
yeah.
Please.
Man, don't be dyslexic right now, please.
Actually, my girlfriend was convinced that I'm dyslexic, and she gave me even want to give me a test yesterday to make sure I'm not. And I'm getting afraid because I found out I cannot pronounce a word in English if I don't read it. If I hear it, like I cannot pronounce. I don't know which sound comes first. I wanted to pronounce a word that I'm not going to pronounce now, and I was literally pooping my pants trying to do it.
How do I pronounce I love you?
It was hypothetically.
Hypothetically.
And I was dying when I was like, I literally was
I still have a problem with the word philosophy. Philosophy.
I was literally like an Indian guy seeing a blonde woman, you know, I couldn't talk.
Drooling all over.
Seeing an Arab guy shake your hands like, no, not you. I want to.
I was
I was gonna say something. Yeah.
talking about the Epstein.
No, I was gonna because you were talking about the test thingy. I did a test on BuzzFeed about dyslexia. It turns out I'm Snow White.
You're Snow White, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, the funniest one is what kind of pizza you want. It was a really funny thing, yeah. I want pepperoni. What kind of pizza are you?
Oh, okay, never mind.
That could be a segment
Man,
of the podcast.
listen, man, these fucking questions, these are, they trace you with these questions. They know for your, how do you call it?
Which pizza are you?
I love this idea. Like, don't do these questions.
They're gonna
They
find
know
out.
about you, man. They will chip you. It's like, man, if they have time to chip me,
Let them do
believe
it,
me.
man. Let them do it.
Let me, like, tell them to go do something else better.
They're
than
running on
life.
fumes if they're trying to find something from me.
Yeah, man.
Let's do one more.
Okay, I have a
okay.
question. What's let's say a gag that you did with your friend, like I'll say maglab. Prank. What, have you ever pranked your friend in a way that made you like go, yeah. Or like, have you ever, let's say, have you ever pranked your friend and what's the prank like?
To be honest, I don't prank that much. The only thing I do is trolling sometimes, but not a lot of pranks to be honest. I know it sounds shitty. I kind of hate pranks.
Ah.
They're just stupid, you know, because it brings a lot of trouble to a person. And that's why, yeah, I'm not the person to ask about pranks,
Okay.
but
I remember I pulled a prank one time on my cousin. I don't remember what the prank was, but I remember the consequences. He got the shit beat out of by his father.
sorry, actually, I remember one. With my ex, we pretended to be a girl in love with one of my friends, and for like 1.5 months. And then this guy came to talk to me about this girl who was madly in love with him, and I recorded his voice 40 minutes trying to brag how this chick is in love with him, and I published the voice.
Oh man.
I 2 minutes ago, I hate pranks. 2 minutes later, I'm like, yeah, I shoved the cucumber up that guy's ass.
Well, one of the pranks that I did, which is like it's a very simple prank, is it came like by accident, like you know when you're bored and like one of your friends texts you and you just want to like mess with them. So one guy who was German actually, and he had a sense of humor, very
Very
is like we're writing to each other, and each time I would write like a swear word, I would censor it. You know, but you know, like for example, like instead of saying fuck, I would say F and 3 stars.
Yeah.
That's every time. And I made the way that the whole conversation was me just swearing and censoring the words, to the point where he started sending me swear words. Is it censored? I said yes. And I went on with this for like days. And when I met him, and it's funny how much he trusted me, and I'm so sorry for that, is that he deleted his WhatsApp nearly like 100 times. Because he thought that WhatsApp, there's a problem with WhatsApp, so he would delete it and
Reinstall
so
it.
all the names would like all the messages would be deleted, and it was like his work WhatsApp, like the thing where he works, and he told me the whole time, man, it's not working. He again said, yeah, man, still censored.
Yeah.
And I said uncensored words. He kept on doing this until we met, and when we met, it was me, him, and the Jordanian guy, and he goes and says man, it's getting censored. I was like, yeah, with me, same with me, man. Like what you're sending me is censored. This is weird. But I sent to him, it's not censored. And then he sent to my Jordanian friend, and sadly my Jordanian friend wasn't on the same wavelength. So he goes, no, it's not. And he just pauses, and you know what it does? He goes, motherfucker, you know what you did to me.
You know, actually, you know what would be funny? Censoring words, just leaving the first letter, but putting a random letter. It's not like a curse word, it's not like X and 5 stars. What the fuck was this, you know?
Oh man, I'm trying to remember other pranks we did with people.
I used to do like a lot of those phone call pranks. Like I would call people, like random numbers, and we would just, oh, you want like a PlayStation or whatever, and I don't know, I don't remember.
Yeah, that's the kind of pranks exactly as
I stopped doing this when the other person said, and this is like way back, you know, before you guys were born, believe me. And we did the prank of you want a PlayStation, you want a car, you want everything, until one guy called us back. And we didn't have phones, it was on a landline, and he called us back and he goes, I have you. Ooh, I have your number, give me your parents. And for that day, for like 3 days straight, or like a few days, I was next to the phone. Hello, where's your phone?
It was the wrong number.
I remember like, cause I don't know if I still have it or not, but when I was around 15 to 16, I had like a girl's voice. Well, my girl could pass that to. As a girl. Oh, okay.
You said your girl could pass as a girl.
I said,
No, I said voice.
I said what? I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my voice could pass as a girl's voice, and I remember because a lot of people in Egypt would call my cousin's phone, and then when they hear it's a girl, they would try to like flirt with her, and then I would take the phone and I would flirt with them for like a while, and then I would just put on my man's voice and I'd be like, oh, by the way, like fuck you. Or
I'll tell you a story from this was in Jordan. This was in 2000, year 2000. One of my friends, he was he was a tech genius. Like literally, he's like one of those. Not only talented, he was a genius.
That means he was on Epstein list.
Yeah, you know, still less fucking
That's why.
kids.
That's why that motherfucker. Oh, no wonder he fucked me. But
He's like, Abed, I'm going to an island with no service. Don't call me.
the thing is, what happened is he wanted to go on a Microsoft course, and at that time, when you get on those courses, you can find a job like really easily, and the course cost a lot. So what he did is he talked to one guy from Saudi Arabia, first through the chat, the IRC chat and MIRC and ICQ, whatever, and he was like talking as a girl, and it's always interesting for me that they never told him to like call them and everything. It's just like chat, and that guy would send him money, charge his phone, you know. He would tell them like, hey, I'm short like $10 or $20. Can you send it to me? And he would send it. And then he told him, there's a course that I need, which was like $1,000-something dollars. And that guy sent it to him. And then he told me, hey, I need to go on another course. It costs like $600, $700. Can you send it to me? And at that time, this Saudi guy goes, listen, I have been talking to you for like 6 months. Can I at least hear your voice? And right now, I want to hear your voice now. And the guy told, no, I can't, not now. He said, no, I want to hear your voice right now. If I don't, this is it. I'm gonna stop talking to you. And the guy was like, man, if this guy stops talking to me, this is like a whole bank that's closing in my face.
Yeah.
And what happened is his sister comes in,
Oh.
and the moment he sees his sister, listen, here's the phone. You have to talk to this guy. You know, your name is this. Talk to him. Just talk to him. It was just 1 minute. That's all you have to do. Just tell him, I have to go now. That's all you have to do. And he did, and he sent him, man, he kept on sending him money for maybe like, for school year, like my last year in school. He was sending him money.
Wow.
And I'm so amazed by this. And this is why when I hear the Nigerian prince email, I am not surprised by people falling in it, to the point where my dad's email got hacked once. And so it sent an email to everybody on the list that was like, hey, my name is this person, I'm in London, I'm trapped in London, I cannot go, I don't have money, can you send me £2,000? And my uncle sent him because he needed to help, like my dad. He was like, he's these pure-hearted people, and which means fucking naive. And he sent him money, and the moment he sends him the money, this is what's so interesting about it. He sends him the money, and then calls us, and we're like, what do you mean? My dad is right here.
It's in a watermelon.
What are you talking about? Yeah, he was like 2 days ago. He came back from Moscow. And he goes, what? And I give the phone to my dad, and he calls my dad. He's like, man, I sent you. I thought you were in London. He goes, motherfucker, I've never been to London. What are you talking about? Yeah. So like, I'm not in the least bit surprised when people got scammed. Like this, for us, it's easy scam.
Yeah, but like when it's your family member, it's more believable. Well, for me, it's
less
kind of,
believable because you can contact them.
You basically.
no, but like no. For me, it's weird that he didn't contact him.
Yeah.
But like let's say like if it's a Nigerian prince, like I'll be like,
Man,
there are no princes in Nigeria, man.
I'm
There's only
There's only oil princes.
Nigerians.
Like.
But no,
yeah.
actually, the thing is, the Arab guy, the Saudi Arabian guy.
Yeah.
Don't you think it's not that bad what he did to him? Like,
You mean as in the term that he's already rich? Who
no,
cares?
he's already. I mean, the guy is so stupid.
Yeah, if you're that dumb, you deserve to be.
Yeah, I mean, if
man.
you don't take, I mean, to be honest, I'm not gonna shit on the person who used them that much. I mean, it's a shitty thing. I'm not gonna do it, but I'm not gonna be like, oh, you're a horrible person.
Oh no! At that time I was what, like 15. I was like not only encouraging him, I was like, man, the moment he sends you, you're taking us out on shisha.
You were inspired.
Instantly you have to take.
You're a role model now.
Yeah, man. To be honest, it's just like fucking interesting how And it's so easy.
I'm not Sina anymore, I'm Sumaya.
Actually, that was his name. You know?
Okay. I
Amazing.
think we should wrap up.
Yeah, we should wrap up. It's been
Omid, anything you'd like to say to our listeners who are never gonna maybe promote your English
Yeah.
comedy? What the fuck would
English say
Oh,
conversation.
That's
yeah.
Conversation Club.
I have a conversation club that I run, and if you guys like to talk about edgy stuff and racism
And not get cancelled.
not get cancelled, and also get encouraged to do so and win prizes. Actually, we have the racist word of the day that we have a.
It's
prize
easy.
for.
Just omit. That's the most racist
Yeah,
word you
it's,
can
it's a
think
bowl
of.
of chicken wings. Actually, we give it to the most racist.
Yeah, inside a watermelon.
Yeah, watermelon. Abandoning their child. So yeah, if interested, you can come. It's called. Actually, I'm pretty sure nobody's gonna come.
I actually, because I don't know how to close the podcast, because this is what I see like proper podcasts to do. Like,
You know what? Just do
promote-
it differently.
Ah.
Just without anything, we just get up and leave.
Ah.
Yeah.
Like for example, the start of the podcast. Now you can it's 2 hour 34. So now
Fuck me.
you can stop.
Yeah.
Well, there's parts if you want.
Actually,
you
this is
can
the
go.
funniest part. You can keep in.
Yeah.
And,
We're gonna keep this.
What where you can start
Mhm.
is when the shisha guy came and I asked him what's in the kalyan.
Yeah,
and he said
bro.
sour and ice.
And skip. Oh yeah.
So yeah, if interested, my Instagram is.
Well, we're gonna
Oh, that's not gonna be
No,
there,
no,
so
no,
don't
no,
worry,
no,
go.
no, we're gonna have your Instagram, probably
Yeah.
everything
Yeah,
in
of
the
course.
description.
The people need to know where they're gonna try to cancel you on.
Yeah. I'll have the Instagram of the other. What's it called?